Am I in the studio? Oh, yeah, I am.
Like, let me tell you, that shit was the craziest experience of my life. So now.
How we doing, folks? Good morning, folks. We are live. It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. We're live all across all the platforms. You name the platform, we're there. So if you got any trouble, if you ever have any troubles on here, finding me on here, or if they kick me out for whatever reason, or they give me some kind of violation or whatever, we're everywhere. You know what I mean? We are everywhere. We're on all the socials, the big ones too. You know what I'm talking about. But anyhow, how we doing this morning, folks? My name is Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Now, been in Houston, Texas now 11 years, 14 years in Texas all together. Today, we're talking about blood sugar, as we always talk. All right, I think we're back. Okay, we're back. All right, how we doing? Everybody doing good? Hold up, let me switch this around. All right, let's see. Let me look at my board, folks. Oh, we're good. We are good. We're ready to get going. All right, how we doing? Okay. My name's Kelley. Back to it. My name's Kelley. A little bit of slight interruption. We're back though. My name's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Talk about all things insulin resistance, blood sugar, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, PCOS, anything related to insulin resistance, folks. That is what we talk about today. You see the title. You see the title of my live today. Roller coasters are for amusement parks, not your blood sugar. They're for amusement parks. All right. You go up on you tick, 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 tick up, and then it comes down, right? Goes up and down, like the roller coaster. We don't want your blood sugar to do that. We want your blood sugar to be nice and steady. That's what we want, folks. So what we're going to talk about, getting off of that roller coaster. Like, how do you get off of that roller coaster? All right, because maybe you've been on the roller coaster for many, many, many years. Maybe you've been on it for, the roller coaster for 15, 10, 20 years, and 20 years, and you can't get your blood sugar right. No matter what you try, you just can't get your blood sugar right. I mean, it's going crazy. And then you go and get a prescription filled. You go to the doctor, and the only thing that you get is a stronger prescription. Does that sound about right? Does that sound about right, that you just go to the doctor and just get a stronger prescription? It's kind of what happened to me. Kind of what happens to everybody, right? Go to the doctor and just get a stronger prescription. So it's not your doctor's fault. So let's be clear on that. It's not your doctor's fault. The doctors are great. The doctors are just doing their job. The doctors are doing what they're trained to do. And what are they trained to do? They're trained to diagnose you, and then they're trained to give you medication. That's it, right? Or some doctors are trained to, give you surgery. So those are the three things: diagnose, medication, surgery. Those are the only three options that you usually will get from the doctor. So then what does that mean for you? Is your condition getting better? Is the insulin resistance getting better? Has your blood sugar come back to the normal range? Once you stop taking the medication, is everything good? Well, I've been there and I know how it goes. And I know that it's not good. I know that when you stop taking the medication, or the medication is the only thing that's kind of keeping it in check. But how is it keeping it in check? Thank you, TikTok fam. How's it keeping it in check? It's keeping it in check through artificial. It's artificially keeping your blood sugar in check. So the second you stop taking it, boom, goes back up. So I'm going to teach you a different way. I'm going to teach you how to actually get off of the glucose roller coaster or the blood sugar roller coaster and get back on the smoother land, right? Smoother land. So that means that you have living a nice, fruitful life. You've got energy all the time. You're not tired. You're not got hunger cravings. You still got your fingers. You still got all your toes. You still got all your sight. That's my purpose. That's what I want for you folks, for you to still have your sight, 10, 15 years, down the road. So that's it, folks. Do me a favor, folks, and tap in with me and let me know where you're from. Bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then also hold down my face and share out the live. So hold down my face and share out the live, folks. Share it out to anybody that you know struggling with these conditions: pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, insulin resistance, any form of that, anything like that, man. Forward this live out there to them. And also, same thing over here on this side as well. Forward this live to anybody that you know that is struggling with these chronic health conditions. Shout out to you this morning. Good morning to you. Like I said, we're live everywhere. We're live across all the socials, folks. So let's see if the folks are tapping in with us and letting them know where they're from. Ohio, man. Shout out to Ohio. What do I need to do then, please? That's what this live is about. It's going to be a 4-hour live, right? Stay on here until 7 a.m. or 7:15 to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. But to answer your question, in short, who asked that? User 964. In short, what you need to do is it's a shortcut. You just need to show up. Here's how you do it. You need to show up, you need to do the work, and you need to do it again tomorrow. It's called the ultimate shortcut. That's it. Show up, do the work, and do it again tomorrow. What's the work? Here's the thing. Diabetes is a lifestyle and dietary and lifestyle driven condition, meaning mostly all of the misery and pain that you're going through right now is simply because of, when it comes to type 2 diabetes, it comes to your diet and lifestyle. Lifestyle is the king of everything. So no matter what condition that you have, your lifestyle is going to be the king of everything. All right. How you manage your stress, how you manage your activities, how are you eating, how are you sleeping, and how are you managing substances? Things like alcohol, things like medications, right? Things like that. It's because medications can cause insulin resistance. What kind of lifestyle did you lead up to have you so that you had to take this medication? So that's what it all traces back to your lifestyle, folks. So New York, Missouri, shout out to Missouri, shout out to Florida. That's my home state. Shout out to Florida. Where you from over here? Shout us out. Put it in the chat where you're from over here. Florida, yeah, born and raised. So that's it, folks. That's what diabetes. That's what most of these chronic health conditions are. It is the pillars of health. Is what we're going to talk about today. How we're going to knock that thing out. What we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about all things A1C. We're going to talk about all things how to fix the A1C. If your A1C gets a little bit too high, how are we going to fix that? That's the question. So it's not an easy process. People are like, well, what? Just get to the point. Just get to it already. Well, it's not an easy process. Okay, that's why my lives are 4 hours. You hang out with me for a little while, and I'm going to show you exactly the power of your lifestyle. That's what we're going to talk about, folks. See where we're from. Nobody. All right, nobody's tapping in. Let us know where they're from. Delaware. Okay, Bradenton, Florida. Shout out to Bradenton, Florida. Ooh, Oceanside, California. Okay, shout out to that. So this is going to be a movie, folks. This is going to be the movie of your life. Like, what is your life all about? What's your movie going to be about? This is it. Are you going to rewrite the script? Or are you going to have that same movie? Is it going to be that same movie that's been around for the long haul? The same movie. Nothing's changed. If nothing changes, then nothing is going to change. So we're going to tear up that script and we're going to write a new script. We're going to give yourself a new movie. And today, what's the name of that movie? Ooh, Moving Forward. That's going to be it. So that's it, folks. Throw your questions in the chat. Don't be bashful. Any questions that you got related to insulin resistance, don't be bashful. But here's how my lives work. I come on, introduce myself, and then I come on and then I will answer your questions, and then we're going to start jumping into what is diabetes, what is insulin resistance, and then how do you fix it. That's what we're going to jump into, folks. What is insulin resistance, and how do you fix it? So how do I know so much about insulin resistance? How do I know so much about if this condition is reversible? How do I know? Well, I know because I was also a diabetic. I went to the doctor back in 2019, into 2019, and I was diagnosed out all at the very same doctor's visit, being a diabetic, having heart disease, and being obese. The triple whammy, all three at this very same time. Now, as a result, a year later, I was no longer a diabetic. I no longer had heart disease, and I was no longer obese. So the question is, how did I do that? How? Isn't diabetes genetic? My mom had it. Well, she didn't have diabetes. She had insulin resistance. She had metabolic syndrome. She had heart disease, just like I got diagnosed with. But the question is, why don't I have it anymore? And the answer to that is simple. It's because it was my diet and lifestyle that caused it. So if it was my diet and lifestyle that caused it, the only way that I can get out of it is to reverse engineer it. Reverse engineer how I was managing my stress, how I was managing my activity, how I was eating, how I was sleeping. All right, I'm gonna show you a little something, so you can understand where I'm coming from. So you can understand and say, like, Kelley, what are you talking about reversing diabetes? That doesn't make any sense. That's impossible, right? Isn't it? Isn't it? Let me see you. Let me show you. Show you some pictures of me. Here's the me when I got diagnosed. That's the diagnosis. That's when I got diagnosed. And let's see here. Here we go. Over there as well. Look at that. That's the before. That's diabetes. That's heart disease, and that's obesity. That's it. All at the very same doctor's visit. That's it. That's it. Before and after, showing both cameras. So this is called diabetes. This is called diabetes. It's called heart disease. It's called obesity. All three. So that is the question. How did I get rid of it? Well, the same way that you're going to get rid of it. The same way that you're going to rewrite your story. The same way that you're going to rewrite your story if you're suffering from insulin resistance, if you're suffering from, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, PCOS. Same way I rewrote my story, my movie, is the same way that we're going to rewrite yours. That's what we're going to do. That's the plan. And what is it and what it takes to rewrite it. Now, it's just not, you can't rewrite it overnight, but you can start the process overnight. You can tear up your old script overnight, and then you can start rewriting. Now, again, it's not going to happen overnight, but you can start. I see it. Appreciate the follow, folks. Appreciate the follow. All right, we're just getting going. We're still getting warmed up. We're getting ready to jump into it right now, folks. Get ready to talk about all things A1C. All right. Here we go. Let's jump up to the board because we got a long one today. Folks. If you're just joining us, my name's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Wasn't always a nutritionist, wasn't always a health coach, as you saw from those pictures. I was a far cry away from being a nutritionist when you saw those pictures, right? So let's get to it. Let's talk about all things A1C. Let's talk about it. First part of this, we're going to talk all things A1C. After we talk A1C, what it is, what it means to be a diabetic, what it means to have insulin resistance. After we talk about all that, after we cover that, the next thing to do is to talk about how to fix it. Like, what's the solution, Kelley? Well, what's the fix? How do I fix this thing? That's it. So that's part one. Part two. Stick around with me. I got you. Hemoglobin A1C. Do me a favor, folks. Who's ever gone to the doctor and they say, listen, your hemoglobin A1C is low. I mean, your hemoglobin is low, not the A1C, but your hemoglobin is low. They may say they may say you're anemic. They may say your iron is low. They may say, you're always tired. Put a me in the chat if you've ever experienced that before, folks. You've ever experienced that before? Put a me in the chat. Yeah. Yeah, we got some me's over here. We got a me over here. Any me's over here on this side? Let's see. Try to fix this camera. Give you the best angle. Yeah, there we go. Any me's over here? Yep, me's over here. Any me? Anybody has ever gone to the doctor? I would love to be a nutritionist. Yeah. Come on, let's do it, David. Let's do it. Anybody ever gone to the doctor and the doctor has told them that they are anemic or that they have low blood sugar? We're going to find out exactly what it means to be a diabetic, folks. This is what it's all about. Yep, some people put it, some people have. Let's see. Appreciate, come on in, Jacob. Yep, me. I'm a pre-diabetic. Okay. All right. So a couple of people have gone to the doctor, and the doctor has given them what's called a hemoglobin A1C test. Woo, hemoglobin A1C. What the heck is a hemoglobin A1C, Kelly? Well, here it is. It's probably only one of the most important parameters that there is. It's called the hemoglobin A1C. Why? It's because, check this out. The word hemo, check this out, folks. This is how important this stuff is. The word hemo, it means iron and oxygen. Oxygen-rich blood. Literally, every time you breathe, oxygen-rich blood is going through every cell of your body. It's supposed to be, okay? Globin means protein. So iron and oxygen-rich blood is being carried through every cell of your body. Trillions of cells. Every time you breathe, oxygen-rich blood. It's so important, folks, that if you don't have enough of it, here's the thing. It's so important that if you don't have enough of it, you want to know what's going to happen? Here's what happens. The doctors will give you a blood transfusion if you don't have enough of it. That's how important the stuff is. A blood transfusion? That's serious stuff, folks. Okay, so that is hemoglobin, iron and oxygen being carried through every cell of your body. Very, very important stuff. It's essentially your life. The word A1C is how much sugar has been stuck. Keyword is stuck. How much sugar has been stuck to the hemoglobin over the past 3 months? Over the past 3 months. Why 3 months? It's because that is how long it takes for your red blood cells to regenerate, to turn over and to get new blood cells. It takes about 3 months, about 90 days or so, give or take. Okay. So what percentage of sugar was stuck to your hemoglobin? Basically your life. How much sugar was stuck to this life? You ever take a piece of candy or Jolly Rancher or something and it gets all over your finger and it gets nasty and all kinds of stuff and it feels yucky and icky? You ever experienced that before? Well, you want to know what that is? That's called the sticky stuff. Imagine that being all over your body, like coursing every cell of your body. Is sticky stuff stuck to it and you can't get it off. That's what it feels like, folks. That's what your cells are happening to your hemoglobin right now when you have too high of a percentage. And that number goes anywhere between 4 and 30. Now, it can go higher than 30 in some cases, and it can go lower than 4 in some cases. But ideally, it goes anywhere between about 4 and 30, folks. Okay? But you're still like, well, what does that mean, Kelly? That's a percentage that goes anywhere between 4 and 30. That still doesn't mean anything to me, Kelly. Well, why should I care about that? Why should I care about what a hemoglobin A1C is, Kelly? Well, here's what it means to have insulin resistance. We're going to talk about that. Who knows what it means when your A1C, your hemoglobin A1C gets to a 5.7 to a 6.4? Who can tell me what that means, folks? Now, folks, this is your story. This is your story. This is the beginning of your story. Understanding what's going on inside of your body. This is the beginning of your story, not my story, your story. Who can tell me what it means, folks? Yeah, prediabetes. Yes. Is that a technical name for sticky stuff? Yes, it's called glycation. It's called glycation. That's what it's called, the technical name for the sticky stuff. right? Yeah. All right. So the amount of sugar that's stuck to your hemoglobin is what percentage of your cell, what percentage of glycation do you have? That's what it means, Maria. Yep, pre-diabetes. Well, pre. Okay, pre what? Yep, pre-diabetes. Part one, folks. What is it? What does it mean to have pre-diabetes? Who knows what the most important hormone is in the body? And there's some important hormones in the body, but the question is, which one is the most important? There's a lot of important ones, but which one is the most important? Can you tell me? Can you put it in the chat? Which one do you think the most important one is? I mean, there's cortisol, there's estrogen, there's testosterone, there's a whole bunch of other ones. Some people said insulin, the liver, C1. Okay, any other guesses on what the most important hormone is in the body? And do me a favor, folks, and bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then hold down my face and share out the live. Hold down my face, share out the live with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, PCOS, erectile dysfunction, pre-diabetes. Forward this live over there to him. Cortisol, somebody said. Insulin. Okay, insulin. All right, cool. That's it, insulin. Insulin is the most important hormone in your body. How important is it? Yeah, insulin. How important is it? It's so important that, check it out. If you don't have enough of it, if you don't produce it, you will have to take insulin for the rest of your life. You will not survive. You will have to take insulin for the rest of your life because you will not survive. That's called being a type 1 diabetic. That's what it's called. That is why having type 1 diabetes is a very, 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 very serious condition. Because if you don't have insulin, you will not survive. So what I'm telling you folks is this number, pre-diabetes, saying that you are becoming resistant to the most important hormone in the body. Like there's some important hormones in the body, but this number right here, that hemoglobin A1C number, that is an indicator of how insulin resistant you are becoming. What percentage of sugar has glycated your hemoglobin? All right. So it means that you're developing insulin resistance. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. That's what it means to be a pre-diabetic. It means you have insulin resistance. It just hasn't gotten bad. So I don't know about you folks, but if insulin is the most important hormone in the body, and you're telling me that this number is an indicator of how insulin resistant I am becoming, folks, that cannot be a good thing. It cannot be a good thing, folks. I don't know about you, but when I got my diagnosis, and when I found out what this number actually meant, when I went and got heart disease, obesity, and then I got diabetes, and when my number hit this, check this out. When my number hit this right here, guess what they told me? Guess what happened? It hit the 6.5. When I went to the doctor, it hit 6.5. Who can tell me what happens when your A1C is a 6.5 or better? What does that mean? When your A1C is a 6.5 or higher, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Who can tell me what does that mean? What are they going to tell you? What do you think is going to tell you? It's scary. My A1C jumped to a 10.3. Yeah. 10.3. Yeah, they'll tell you you're diabetic. Yeah, that's what they'll tell you. They'll tell you, hey, you got diabetes. That's what they'll tell you. Any questions? Any guesses over here? Diabetes. Yeah, diabetic. Yeah, diabetes. That's what they'll tell you. Diabetes. We're going to put this one in red because we're going to highlight this. We're going to highlight this one. Diabetes. But you're still like, diabetes, what does that mean, Kelley? Ooh, okay, let's break it down. Let's find out what it means to be. I told you part one of this is I'm going to tell you what this thing is. And then secondly, the next part of that is I'm going to tell you how to fix this number. That's done. So stick around with me. I got you. This is your movie. Remember, it's your movie. So don't go anywhere. This is just a preview. This is the beginning of your movie. If you get that, if your A1C gets to a 6.5, the first thing that they're going to tell you is, hey, here's some metformin. Hey, here's some glycosides or something. Something, and then you have something that doesn't have something that you can't even pronounce. Like that's what they're probably going to give you right here when you get the same thing that happened to me is the same thing that probably happened to you in your story. So diabetes means insulin. You're becoming more and more insulin resistant. Insulin, like we said, is the most important hormone in the body. So it's the most important hormone in the body. The higher the percentage of, the higher the number is, means the more insulin resistant you are becoming. Check this out. Pre-diabetes, 5.7 to 6.4. This percent of sugar, whatever your percent is, it's a percent. So it can be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 10.3, somebody said, 13, 14, 15, 16. That is the percentage of sugar that is basically infecting. Let me say that. That's a better word. I said sticky stuff earlier. It's called glycation. It is the amount of sugar that has infected your hemoglobin. What did we say hemoglobin was? Hemoglobin is your life. Every time you breathe in and out, oxygen-rich blood literally goes to every cell of your body. So if you've got, over the past 3 months, if you've got sugar that has been basically infecting it, too much sugar, let me say that, a little bit of sugar is fine. The right amount of sugar is fine. The right amount of sugar is fine. Ideally, that's where you want it, 4.9 to 5.3. That's great. That means over the past 3 months, you've had the right amount of sugar that was supposed to be attached to your hemoglobin. And as a result, you breathe better, you feel better, everything feels great. You got energy. Because what's happening is the higher the percentage, when you're tired and all that stuff, the higher the percentage is. Let's just say if you're anemic and you've got a high A1C. That is literally, the amount of sugar is literally choking the life out of you. It's why you're always tired. It's literally what it's doing. It's choking the life out of the oxygen. It's why people leave here 15, 20 years too soon. It's because they let their percentage of A1, they let their percentage of sugar get too high. Over time, year after year, the percentage is high. Year after year, the percentage is high. Year after year, the percentage is high. And as a result, that person gets the life choked out of them. That person's quality of life is ruined. Just like my sister. My sister passed away at the age of 55 years old. She passed away at the age of 55 years old due to complications from this number right here. Her A1C was high for too long. Too much sugar was stuck to her hemoglobin for far too long. And as a result, I no longer have my big sister. All right. So this is what it means, folks. It means the higher the number is, the more insulin resistant you are becoming. Insulin is the key. It's the key that says, open up the door. Every time you eat food, insulin says, open up the door. Open up the door of the cell so I can let the energy from the food in that you just ate. So the food that you just ate can get into the cells. But when you're insulin resistant, when the insulin tries to open the door is locked. Like the door is jammed. Like I can't open. Insulin's like, I can't open the door to let the energy, to let the food in, to let the energy in. And as a result, what happens on the outside? This is what you feel on the outside. This is what's happening, but this is what you feel on the inside. You feel hungry. Why do you feel hungry? Well, you feel, even though you just ate, well, you feel hungry because you got too much insulin. Insulin is now piling up. It's basically piling up. And the more insulin piles up, right, the more it's telling your body to eat. More insulin says eat more. More insulin, eat more. Why? It's because your body's like, I don't have any energy. That's what it means to have diabetes, folks. That's what it means to have insulin resistance. It means that, and essentially, your metabolism is messed up. Your metabolism is jacked up. What is a metabolism? Basically, how your body processes energy. How your body processes energy is in flux. It's in total flux. Why is it in total flux? It's because insulin is messed up and the energy can't get into the cells to properly do its job. So as a result, you get tired. Your body's like, give me more energy. I just ate, but give me more energy, because insulin is telling us to store this in the fat cells, store this energy, store the food in the fat cells. Don't use it right now. Store it. That's what insulin is telling your body to do if you've got too much of it. So it's why you're hungry. It's why you always need sugar. You're like, why do I always have sugar cravings, Kelley? Well, you got sugar cravings because your energy, your body's looking for quick energy. And where can you get quick energy? Oh, yeah, from some candy. You can get quick energy from some candy, some sugar. You can get quick energy from a Coca-Cola. You can get quick energy from some white rice. Some bread. Give me some bread or do something. But most of the time, people will reach for sugar. They'll reach for some type of candy or drink, like I said, fruit punch, whatever, just to make my blood sugar go back up, because your body is craving quick energy. That's why you're craving sugar. And then lastly, it's why you're always tired, right? You know, you're tired and then hungry, tired and hungry, and you got sugar cravings. Those are the three things. You're tired because you can't get the energy into the cells, so you're tired. You're hungry, and you've got sugar cravings. Who gets any of those? If you've gotten any of those, if you've ever been tired due to your A1C being high, or being a pre-diabetic, or being a diabetic, if you've ever been tired just for the sake of being tired, put a me in the chat. Or if you've ever been hungry and you just ate like an hour ago, but I'm hungry again, or you're just always craving some sugar, put a me in the chat. If any of those three things have ever happened to you, put a me in the chat. Let's see how many me's we got. That ever happened to you? Any of those three things? You got tired? You got hungry for the sake of just being hungry? Or you just get cravings for sugar all the time? Appreciate the follow. Did that ever happen to anybody? Yeah, me. Couple of people. Now, I know there's a lot of people on here now. Has that ever happened to you? Nope. I'm always active. Okay. So are you suffering from insulin resistance? Are you perfectly fine? But if you're suffering from insulin resistance and you're perfectly active and you're fine and great, then that's a true testament to you, to how strong your body is. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's how strong your body. You got some good genes, brother. Yeah, me. That's it. So that's it, folks. That is what it is. That is what it means to be a diabetic. It means that the higher the number is, the faster you're aging, the faster you're glycating. Somebody said, what's the scientific word? Scientific word is glycation. The faster you're glycating. Here's what it means to glycate. When we're born, check it out. Our cartilage looks like this. Our cartilage looks like this when we're born. But when we pass away, it's brown like this. Why? It's because that's glycation. That is the amount of what that comes from, is based on this number right here. How quickly you age, how quickly you brown. We're all aging. We're all getting older. I'm getting older. You're getting older. Everybody's getting older. But we don't have to get old. And that is what that means. The higher the number is, the older you're getting, the faster you're checking out of here. Basically, I'm going to sum it up like this. It means the higher the number is, the faster you're digging a grave with your teeth. That's what it means. That's the simplest way I can say it. All right, simplest way I can say it. Lifestyle first, medication second. This is called the blue pill, folks. If you've ever watched The Matrix, this is called the blue pill. The blue pill is it's when you try to take when you take medication to try to fix all of this stuff. But the root cause is this. The root cause is it was your diet and lifestyle. That was the root cause. So as a result, you got to use your diet and lifestyle to get out of it, folks. So if this is making sense to y'all, folks, put a health yes in the chat. If you now know what it means to be a diabetic, or it means that you're checking out of here 15, 20 years too soon. Who knows what it means to have insulin resistance? Who knows what a hemoglobin A1C is and how important this number is? Put a health yes in the chat. You want to hang out with your friends and family. You want to walk your kids down the aisle. You got plans for the future. Your number one priority should be this. It should be getting that number back down to the ideal range. And I don't care what it is whatever it is that you got to do. Whatever it is, because today's efforts saves you from tomorrow's pain. If you put in the work now, today's efforts is going to save you a whole lot of pain down the road, I'm telling you. Let's see. Let's get to these questions. Health, yes. Here it is right here. I told you right here, Leah, I said, get to the point. Well, this is, if you just joined us, I said this is a 4-hour live. And the point is, I need you to understand what it means. I need you to understand what it means, who the villain is. Who's the villain? This is the villain. You're the hero of your own story. So if you're the hero of your own story, you got to know how to defeat the villain. Next, I'm going to show you how to defeat the villain. That's it, folks. Was I? The question was I a diabetic? That's what the question is. All right, that's the question. That's the question. When you see this gentleman right here, and I'm going to get to the questions here in a second. When you see this gentleman right here, check this out. This is 2 weeks before my diagnosis right here. 2 weeks before I was diagnosed as having heart disease and being obese and having diabetes. Look at that. I didn't even know. Look how oblivious I'm looking. Look at my face. I'm so freaking oblivious that 2 weeks later, I'm getting ready to get diagnosed with diabetes, heart disease, and being obese. 2 weeks later. Look at how oblivious I am. Look at that. I got the old goofy looking glasses on and everything. Look at that. Look at that. Somebody caught me with my hand in a cookie jar. So the question was I a diabetic? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. So the thing is, I rewrote my story though. I rewrote my story. Now can you rewrite yours? Are you going to rewrite your story? Or are you going to let that story play out like it is? That's the question. The two different mentalities right here. That's the grasshopper mentality and the ant mentality, right? The one on the left thinking like a grasshopper, doing whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, however he wanted. And the one on the right had to switch things up. Because I didn't want tomorrow to come and experience all that pain, saying that I could have did this, or I could have fixed my number. I could have fixed my A1C. I should have fixed my A1C, but I don't. I didn't. That's going to be called living with regret. But had I not changed, that was 6 years ago. Had I not changed, here's what happens. There will be somebody right now giving you this live. It wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. All right. Do me a favor, folks. Click that link in my bio and go register for go register for the quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. Are you doing a great job of managing your diabetes? Or you're doing a terrible job managing diabetes? Or you're somewhere in the middle? Are you an ant or a grasshopper? That's why I created that test, that quiz. There's a 2-minute quiz that you can take. Click the link in my description. Go take the quiz. It's going to tell you your style. Team ant, team grasshopper. Which one are you? So let's get to the questions, folks. Here we go. I'm gonna go back to the questions. You know, I get to all the questions. Here we go. What if you're already a diabetic or in your A1C is 6.1? What does that mean, Terry? What do you mean? What if you're already A1? What does that mean? It's scary. My A1C jumped to a 10.3. Yeah, that's real scary. Diabetic, y'all. You have to be placed on some prescription. Yep, you do. Once your number gets to be 6.5, yeah, you do. What supplements do you recommend for fiber? I recommend real fiber. I don't recommend the supplements for fiber, right? I recommend go in and go get those fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. That's what the fiber. That's what the real fiber is. Here's what I recommend. When you go into the grocery store, here's the fiber supplement I recommend. I recommend you look left. I recommend you look right. Look left. Look right. And you see all those colors over there? You see the reds, the greens, the purples, the yellows, all these different colors. That's what the real fiber is. And the produce, that's what the real fiber is. It's not in some container or whatever. You got to go get the real stuff. No, I am not still diabetic, Terry. Oh, you still diabetic? Are you 6.1? Terry, you got to. I know, Terry. I know you've been in my class. I know you've been in my class for a while, Terry. You know where that number falls. What supplement you recommend for fiber? I already asked that one. You already asked. What's up, Judy? Welcome back. Interested, please. Interested in taking the quiz? Click the link in my bio right over here. Click boom, and then boom. Click on my picture again. So click on this picture. Click on that picture again. That's going to take you to the quiz. Go take the quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can understand and learn your diabetes management style. And that is linked in my bio. So don't let that get away, folks. We want to know how you've been handling this number. Next, we're going to tell you how to fix this thing. Metabolism equals energy. That's it. That is it. And when you're suffering from insulin resistance, it means that your metabolism and how your body processes energy is freaking jacked up. That's what it means in simple terms. That's why I told you. That's why I know that you're tired. That's why I know that you get hungry cravings. That's why I know that you get sugar cravings. I know that because you're insulin resistant. I already know what's going on. It's the same thing that was going on with me. It's why I couldn't stop eating McDonald's. It's why I couldn't stop eating big bags of gummy worms. It's why I couldn't stop doing it. How do you fight sugar cravings? We went over that one yesterday, but the quick one is this: bitter is better, sour has power. That's what we're going to cover next. Let's see. I'm trying to get to some of the questions because we have. What fiber supplement do you recommend? I told you, look left, look right. Go into the grocery store, look left, look right. Go to the produce aisle and look at all those colors. Just grab a whole bunch of those colors. That's the fiber I recommend. It's called vegetables. That's the fiber that are fruits and vegetables. That's the fiber that I recommend. I know what you're trying to get at, but I'm not going to say it. I already know what you're trying to get at. How long did it take you to go from where you are to where you are today? Well, that's been a 5-year journey, 4-year journey since 2021. That's been a journey. It's always a journey. I'm always evolving from who I am today. So it's about personal development. But if you're asking how long did it take me to lose the weight and no longer be a diabetic, between those two pictures, it was a year between those two pictures. I took one in December of 2019, and I think the other one in December of 2020, somewhere around there. Somewhere around there is when I took that picture. But it was a year later in between the weight loss. It's a year later. Now, it probably happened before then. I probably brought my number back down to the ideal range in less than I don't know how long it took. It was probably pretty quickly. But as far as the overall weight, to go from being obese from an extra large shirt to a small, like this shirt is a small, from an extra large to a small, that took a year. Kimchi, sauerkraut, get them all, right? All right, here we go, folks. I would love to join. Click the link in my bio and register. Register for the master class, register for the quiz, and register for the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Let's get into it, folks. The next thing is, now that we understand what this number is, the next thing is, how do we fix this number? Okay? How do we fix this number, folks? Check it out. This is what I want y'all to do. I'm gonna show you how to fix it, and I want y'all to go register. I want y'all to register for the quiz, man. Register for the quiz. Here's how you register for the quiz right here. Check it out. Click right up here. Click on my picture again. Woo! And then here we go. Here's the quiz. So you click right up here, or on my other socials, you just got to click that link in my description. Click the link in my description, and you're going to come to something that looks like this. Sorry. Don't look like that. There's that first one is the quiz. Look at that. First one is the quiz. Go take the quiz. It's linked in my bio. Find out which team you're on. Are you on Team Ant or you're on Team Grasshopper? Team Ant, Team Grasshopper. Which one are you on? Click right here and you'll find out. You go take the quiz. Am I on Team Ant or Team Grasshopper? Right here. You'll find out. You'll find out which team you're on. All right. That's what that quiz is going to tell you. Now, it's a 2-minute. It's a diabetes management style quiz. It's going to ask you about 11 questions. It's going to take you 2 minutes, and then by the time you finish, you're going to have a whole new awareness on what the heck has been going on for many years. Okay. Then the next thing is how do you fix this thing? Here's what you need to do. If you've ever had plans on getting your health back, if you've ever had plans on reversing insulin resistance, because people ask me all the time, Kelley, can I reverse this thing? Is insulin resistance reversible? Can I reverse insulin resistance, Kelley? And the answer to that question is absolutely. Just like I did. But the thing is, you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to go through some pain. You're going to have to go through some pain. People always see my picture and they're like, Kelley, man, yeah. How'd you do it? What did you take? I'm like, no. And what did I take? It's not what I took. It's what I had to do. I had to maintain my pace. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. It's the most neglected form of healing that there is. This is what I told them. I was like, it's the most neglected form of healing that it is. Why? It's because it's so hard it's so simple, but yet it's so hard to do. And it is called lifestyle medicine. Your A1Cs have gotten a little bit too high. If the oxygen if the sugar is basically choking the life from you, to get it back, we're going to have to take the other pill. What's the other pill? The other pill is the red pill. If you've ever watched The Matrix, it's the red pill. The red pill says this. You're going to get outside of the matrix and you're going to see things for what it is. So the only way, folks, that you're going to bring your A1C down naturally and keep it there and get off of that blood sugar roller coaster is prescribe yourself these meds right here. These are the meds. This is the work that you're going to have to do. And it's called lifestyle medicine. I can't prescribe you this medication. The doctor can't prescribe you this medication. Your mom can't prescribe you. Your kids, your daughter, you can't prescribe it for your dad. Like a lot of people say, hey, listen, I want this for my dad. I want my dad to see this. I want my dad to do. I want my dad to do this. Or I want my husband to do this. Or I want my wife to do this. Or I want whoever to do this. I want them to do this. But then I just say, listen, I'm a coach. And I say, listen, I understand that that's what you want for them. But the question is, what is it that they want? What is it that they want? Do they want to get out of the matrix? Do they want to regain their health? Do they want to get off the blood sugar roller coaster? Is that what they want? Or is that what you want? Because if it's what you want, I'm sorry to tell you folks that it's probably not going to happen. So again, I can't prescribe you this medication. The doctor can't prescribe you this medication. Your spouse, your kids, whoever cannot prescribe you this medication. The only person that can prescribe you is this. The first part of the formula, the first part of the lifestyle medicine formula that you gotta do. You gotta do, because a little pain now beats a lot of regret later. A little pain now beats a lot of regret later. And this is going to be painful, what you're going to have to go through. Because it involves changing your lifestyle. And we know that once we're inside of our comfort zone, that's it. Lifestyle medicine, first part of the prescription that you're going to have to write for yourself. You're going to write yourself, you're going to go to the day and you're going to say, self, and you're going to write yourself this script today. Peaceful mind. Cortisol, like we talked about earlier. Super, super, super important. How we doing, folks? My name is Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist. If you're just joining us, we're talking about all things insulin resistance, getting off the blood sugar roller coaster, and getting your life back. That's what we're talking about on today's live, folks. Okay? Getting your life back. Getting off the roller coaster and just living a nice long life free of diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, of course, you can't get rid of type 1, but you can get rid of type 2 diabetes. Most people can. They're just going to have to do a little bit of work, a whole lot of work, a whole lot of pain. Peaceful mind. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and it causes you to be stressed out. So if you're constantly stressed, that's cortisol. Cortisol is high when you're constantly stressed. And what does it mean to be stressed? Well, it means that your body has released adrenaline because it thinks you're getting ready to fight a bear. Like, I'm fighting a bear, so I gotta release the adrenaline. Your adrenaline's gotta be released. Fight the bear. I need energy. So adrenaline, cortisol. Adrenaline, cortisol. And then after that, the liver releases stored blood sugar. It says, liver, go, release stored blood sugar. And then, why do you need to release stored blood sugar? So that you can have energy to fight the bear. That's what blood sugar is. It's energy. So that you can fight the bear. This is why you get stronger when you get angry. When you get angry or you're scared, you get strong, right? That's it. That's it. So what happens wherever blood sugar goes, insulin follows. So wherever blood sugar goes, insulin follows, folks. That's it. That's it. The 3 M's. What do I recommend? The 3 M's. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Those are the 3 M's. These are the things that you cannot control. I mean, you can control. You can control. Here's the 3 things that you can control. Your own thoughts, your own actions, and your own reactions. Your thoughts, your own actions, and your own reactions. Those are the only 3 things that you can control, folks. The A stands for having an active body. Woo! The one thing. Now, this part of the prescription, folks, this is the part of the prescription that people really do not like. They don't like this prescription because you got to move your body. You got to get uncomfortable. You got to go through a little bit of pain. A little bit of pain, though, beats tomorrow's regret. Remember that one, okay? If you ever had plans on getting off your medication or getting your life back and kicking that medication to the side and finally regaining and just getting off of that, it's called getting off the roller coaster. You ever had plans on that? This is the work you're going to have to do. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. You're like, well, what the hell is moderate intensive movement, Kelley? Well, moderate intensive movement is this. If you're on the treadmill, that means that you can talk, but you can't sing. If you're on a treadmill and you can talk, but you can't sing, woo, if you can talk, I'm sorry, and you can sing, but you can't talk, I'm messing that all up. If you're on a treadmill and you can sing, then you're not moving fast enough. You should be able to talk, but you shouldn't be able to sing. If that's happening, you're singing, that means we got to pick up the pace. Why is movement so important? Well, it's so important if you're suffering from high blood sugar. If you ever wanted to get your number back to the ideal range, here's the thing. You're going to have to master these 4 areas. And being active is one of those areas. The reason that it's so important, the reason that they tell you to go for a walk after your meal, like go for a walk. Go for a walk after your meal. The reason they tell you to do that, here's why. It's because you need to let those muscles soak up that glucose. Muscles are so hungry. What are they hungry for? They're hungry for the same stuff that you got too much of. That's what they're hungry for. The same stuff that you got too much of. And what is that? Oh yeah, blood sugar. They're hungry for blood sugar, muscles. That's why they tell you to go for a walk right after you eat, because it soaks it all up and it bypasses the insulin. You don't even need insulin at this point. That is the only time that you do not need permission from insulin. Energy does not need permission from insulin only one time. And that is when you're moving your body. Other than that, it needs to get permission from insulin to open up the door to let the energy into the cell. But since muscles are so hungry, they're like, we need the energy now. Forget about insulin. They're like, forget about insulin, man, yo. Nah, I ain't worried about that. We're going straight to it. We're getting straight to the action. That's why it's so important to move your body, folks. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Man, check this out. You do that 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. You know what that means? That means you still get weekends off, man. Come on, man. When did they do that? That means you still get weekends off. Active body. The C part of the formula, here it is. The most controversial part of the formula is this. Here's the most controversial part of it. Look. Now, I'm going to fly through this one because we're going to talk about clean eating in a little bit. But if you want to know more about this whole philosophy, folks, this whole formula that I break down, click the link in my bio and register for the masterclass. It is a masterclass. It is a free masterclass. All you got to pay is attention, where I slow the whole thing down. Going a little bit faster now, but during the masterclass, I slow this whole thing down. So peaceful mind, active body, clean eating. Eat whole, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. Very, very controversial topic. What's controversial? It's like controversial like politics. It's like controversial like religion, because there's so many different points of views. And it's highly debated. Is nutrition as well. Nutrition, folks, I don't know if you know that, but nutrition is so highly debated that it's not even funny. Isn't that right, D? Isn't that right, D? It's so highly debated, isn't it? If you're on my FB over here, I see D on there. Very, very highly debated, isn't it? Yeah. She's a nurse practitioner, so she knows a thing or two about nutrition as well. But I say all that to say, people will bite your head off when it comes to what their food is, like, because it's so deeply personal. Because of how you grew up. I grew up eating this. I grew up eating that. I grew up eating this. I grew up eating that. So when somebody says, hey, don't eat this or don't eat that, you're like, man, whatever. That's my food. So here's my philosophy. Eat clean, unprocessed, real, clean, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. Most of the time, eat clean, real, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. Do you have to be 100% perfect? No, you don't have to be 100% perfect. About 85 to 90% of the time, let's get it right though. Let's get it right about 80 to 90% of the time. around in that range when you're eating clean, whole, unprocessed foods. What's that? Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and then for the protein sources, like I said, people eat different protein sources. So whatever protein source that you eat. So if it's chicken, if it's turkey, if it's fish, if it's steak, if it's eggs, if it's salmon, tofu, tempeh, those are the leaner sources of protein. Now, the ones that I'm not talking about are whenever you go into the store and you see all the bacons and the salamis and the processed meat aisle, they got it all in one section. You got the ham over there. You got all the, all the everything, the cheese, all of that stuff. That, folks, is not clean eating. Not clean eating. That is called processed meats. You don't want you don't want to go to the processed meat aisle. You want to stay away from and even my folks from Louisiana. Got my Louisiana, anybody from Louisiana, put a me in the chat if you're from Louisiana. Here's what's not clean eating. Crawfish and boudin. Crawfish and boudin are not clean eating, folks. But we can at least agree on that. They're called mud bugs for a reason, folks, in Louisiana. Check it out. Clean eating. The last part, we're going to come back to this. We're going to fly through clean eating because we're going to cover clean eating a lot. Don't worry. And check it out. The last part of the formula to bringing down your A1C to the ideal range is this. Look. Here's where we want. Here's where we're shooting for. Here's where we're shooting for right here. That's the percent, the A1C. That's what we want. How do we get there? You got to do this. You got to master this to get to this. Effective sleep. Effective sleep, folks. That's it. What do you mean effective sleep? What's sleep got to do with it? A lot of people always say, well, what does sleep have to do with it, Kelley? Well, I go to the VA a lot. Well, I don't go a lot, but I go enough because I used to be in the military. So I'll go up there and get my yearly checkups and go get checkup for this or whatever when I go to the VA. And whenever I go to the VA, there's always a lot of people there that some people have amputees. They it's amputation. Their legs are amputated. And if you sit down and really talk to them and find out about their story, turns out that amputation that they have, you would think that it was from the war because we're at the VA, for crying out loud. We're at the VA. And you see people with amputees, but most of the time it's from not maintaining their pace. Having high blood sugar for too long. Their A1C being outside of the ideal range for many years. So it wasn't the war that caused the amputation. It was they didn't maintain their pace. And a lot of people ask me, well, what does sleep have to do with it, Kelley? Well, sleep has everything to do with it. Everything to do with your high blood sugar. Sleep has a part of it. Sleep plays a role of it. So if you've got high blood sugars and you're getting poor sleep, that could be the reason why, because they can cancel each other out. Here's how important effective sleep is. Watch this. 6 to 9 hours of effective sleep. If you do not get 6 to 9 hours of effective sleep, your body will not recover. Your body does not recover properly. If you get broken sleep, like, I sleep 2 hours here, I sleep 2 hours there, I sleep 2 hours there, I sleep 3 hours there at night, or I toss and turn, I can't sleep, tossing and turning. I stay up all night looking at the ceiling. The very next day, what's going to happen is you're going to be more insulin resistant the very next day. The very next day, you're going to be even hungrier than you were before. The very next day, you're going to cause a trickle-down effect. Watch this. They'll cancel each other out. If you don't get effective sleep, here's what happens. Watch this domino effect. You could be saying, like, listen, Kelley, People come to me all the time, right? When it comes to weight loss, or they can't bring their blood sugar down to the normal range, they can't get off the roller coaster, and they'll say this is what they'll say: Kelley, look, I've been working out, man. I've been working out a lot, bro. I've been clean eating. I've been eating good, Kelley. So why are my numbers not going down? Why am I not losing the weight? I say, all right, let's dig into it a little bit more. Let's dig into these areas of your lifestyle. It's called lifestyle. Let's dig into your sleep. So I'm like, well, how you sleeping? Well, that's where they start with, about that. And I said, oh, no, they're not well. That's where we're going to start. Because if you're not getting effective sleep, this is going to cause your blood sugar to go wacky. Check it out. Here's why. Poor sleep is a stressor. So you get stressed out because your body's stressed out because it couldn't get the rest that it needed. Your brain couldn't restore itself overnight. So you get stressed out. And as a result, your peaceful mind is out the window. So there's no more peaceful mind. Keep in mind, you're moving your body and you're eating good though, right? But you're getting poor sleep. So now your peaceful mind is gone because it's a stressor. Lack of poor sleep is a stressor. So now cortisol is released because of the stress. Now, adrenaline, cortisol is released because you're getting poor sleep. And when an adrenaline and a cortisol gets released, now stored blood sugar gets released from your liver. Now, insulin gets released. Now, insulin resistance is a whole lot worse the very next day, simply because you got a poor night of sleep. Go figure, folks. Go figure. This is it, folks. That's it. That is the formula. To maintain your pace, to ever bring your numbers back down to the ideal range, and to keep it there. To keep it there is the key thing, is to keep it there. And when you saw those pictures of me, check it out. It's been, look, folks, look at that. I'm going to show you these pictures over here. It's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. And my A1C is still within the ideal range 4 years later. The question is, how do you keep it there? Right? 4 years later, my A1C is in the normal range and it's still staying there. The weight hasn't come back. Why? Why hasn't the weight come back? It's because I maximized these areas. I learned how to play this game of maintaining my pace a whole lot better. Now, there's other factors involved as well. There's things like alcohol and medications that you're taking. Those have a play as well. But the base of the formula, this is the base of the formula right here. You master this, that A1C will start to go from like a 10.3 to somebody said, it'll start to go from a 10.3 to a 9.7 to a 9.5 to a 9 to an 8.5 to an 8 to a 7 to a 6.5 to a 5.5. But you got to maintain it though. That's the thing. Most people drop out of it. They stop maintaining it. They drop out. If you drop out too soon, I'm telling you drop out too soon. Because the people were asking me how long did it take. It took me a year to do that. It took me a year to go from being in the worst shape of my life to the best shape of my life. 1 year. From the worst shape from rock bottom to now I'm like a kid again. All I did every day, 6 days a week, was maintain my pace. That's all I was doing. It was my season of focus. I was just focused. This is what you're going to have to do in your movie, folks. You're going to have to get focused in that movie. You're going to have to get focused. You're going to have to put distractions to the side. That's it. This is how you do it, folks. Are there any questions on if this is making sense to y'all and what y'all got to do now? Put a health yes in the chat. Put a health yes in the chat, both chats. Put a health yes in the chat if you now know what you got to do to make this thing happen, to bring your A1C back to the normal range. And I'm going to get some more. Put a health yes in the chat, folks. Yeah, health yes. There we go. I'm going to drink some water, folks. Let's see if we got some health yes. Yeah. Health yeses. Now, this is called going looking in the mirror, folks. This is a session called Go Look in the Mirror. Go look in the mirror. And really ask yourself, say this. Every morning I've got two choices. Because either I can wake up and do the work, or I can complain about the work that I got to do. That's it. These are the only two choices. So here's the ultimate formula. Here's the ultimate shortcut to doing this. Is to show up, is to do the work, and to do it again tomorrow. Show up, do the work. What's the work? This is the work. And do it again tomorrow. Now let's get to these questions, folks. If you want to know more about this, it's Q&A time coming up, but let me put this out here. If you want to know more about this formula, here it is right here. Click that link in my bio. Do me a favor, folks. Bebop that screen, man. Let's get this thing to 10,000 a day. 10,000 is, let's get it to 10,000 at least, right? Bebop that screen. But here it is right here, folks. Check it out. If you want to know where this, it's a free masterclass that you can take to go and understand and learn your diabetes management style. Oh, I'm sorry, not the master. This is going to give you. It's going to give you tactics. Sorry, this is the masterclass. It's going to give you tactics and peaceful mind. I'm going to give you tactics and how to have an active body, tactics and clean eating, tactics and effective sleep. I'm going to teach you how to make your sleep hygiene so good that you fall asleep without, like, you fall asleep like, whoa, you wake up feeling like, where the heck have I been? I'm going to teach you how to get that kind of sleep. Here's where I teach you, right here. Click this link in my bio. Right? This link is going to show you the quiz. It's a free quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. That's the quiz. And then the masterclass right here. Look at the masterclass right here. There's a masterclass, the second one. And then finally, the PDF right here. There's a free PDF as well. Like, if you don't want to watch the masterclass, you want to read the masterclass, right? You can read it right here. You can just download it. Boom. You can read it. It's right there. Boom. Download it. You download it. You can read it. So, folks, there's no excuses. There's no excuses. You got to go look in the mirror and say, damn, did I half-ass it? Or did I give it 100%? Did I give it everything that I had? Or did you go look in that mirror and say, damn, I half-assed it? You go watch this masterclass. I'm going to give you a lot of tactics. But the thing is, you're going to have to put in the work. Because I can give you a whole bunch of knowledge. I can give you a ton of knowledge. Like, I'm just giving you a whole bunch of knowledge right now. This is all knowledge. But knowledge without action is just entertainment. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So, folks, don't let this just what I'm giving you all this knowledge. Don't just let this be entertainment. You're looking at it and be like, this is entertaining. I got the knowledge, but no. Don't let your learning lead to knowledge, because you'll become a fool. But if you let your learning lead to action, you can do any damn thing that you want. Here's where I go over the masterclass right here. Free masterclass, folks. 45 minutes is absolutely free. All you got to do is pay attention. That's it. And then finally, for my action takers, the people who are serious about change, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. For the people who have gotten in enough pain, where you say, Kelley, I'm in enough pain. This is hurting me so bad. I'm so tired of being on this roller coaster, Kelley. I don't know what else to do. I've taken all the medication. I've taken insulin for 15 years. And somebody wrote me yesterday and said they've been taking insulin for 15 years. And it's not working. It's not working anymore. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. That's why? It's because she's severely insulin resistant, folks. For my people who are gotten to the point where they've hit the rock bottom, They've gotten to the point where they're like, you know what, Kelley? I'm in such a bad place when it comes to this glucose roller coaster, my blood sugar, that I want to do anything in my power to get on the other side of this. What is it that I got to do? Those are the people I'm talking about. Those are the people who are like, yo, those are the people who have joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here it is right here. Here's the challenge right here. Look, everything you get in the challenge, 14 days, all designed by me. It is a blueprint that says, you hang out with me for 14 days, the blood sugar roller coaster, we're going to get you off of it. That's why the name of this live is, look, roller coasters are for amusement parks, not your blood sugar. Join the 14-day challenge today. That is what the 14-day challenge is. Now, everything's free on my page. The quiz is free. The master class is free. That's all free stuff. It's all community service stuff. But like I told you before, knowledge without action is just entertainment. So that's a bunch of knowledge that I'm giving y'all. But for my action takers, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. A couple hundred people have already joined the challenge, and all of these people have gotten off the glucose roller coaster. All of them have gotten off the blood sugar roller coaster. Or do they still have diabetes after 2 weeks? Do they still have is their A1C, trending in the right direction? Yeah, it's trending in the right direction. Just after 2 weeks. But the point is, we're going to get you that blood sugar, that one that you see every single day. That one that you see every day is up and down. That's a roller coaster. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You feel good. You feel horrible. You feel good. You feel horrible. If you're tired of feeling horrible, join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's $99 to join the challenge. But if you use the live discount code, it's live. I'm live right now. Use the discount code FREEDOM. Freedom. I just made that one up. Use that discount code FREEDOM right here. You're joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for $79. Freedom. Put it right over here. Freedom. That's what it is. That's the discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, folks. So this is it, folks. This is what you're going to have to do. The work. Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
Low battery.
Let's see. Health, yes. Yeah. Here, let's get to these questions, folks. Let's get back to the questions. Get back to the questions. Health, yes. Yes. Health, yes. All right, that's where we left off. All right, cool. Are there indicators of high blood sugar levels without being diagnosed? Yeah. It's called constant urination, right? It's called blurred vision. It's called always being tired. It's called tingling of the feet. It's called skin tags. You don't have to be diagnosed, but these are some of the signs, right? It usually starts with constant urination first. Like, why am I always going to the bathroom? Or like I said, some people wake up and their vision is blurred. Like, whoa, some of my vision. All right. I'm ready. If you're ready, Bridget, what are you ready for, though? Or the question is, what are you ready for? What are you ready for? Because like I told you before, action or knowledge without action is just entertainment. What are you ready for? What kind of action are you ready to put in? I'm over it. If you've gotten to that point where you're over it, it's time. It's time. If you're on this live for a reason, if you just magically woke up one day and you just flipped on this live right here, no. It wasn't by coincidence, okay? That wasn't by coincidence. That was you're like, oh, give me a signal, give me a sign. That's the sign. This is the sign. You join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge like 200 people have already done. Check it out. I guarantee that your blood sugar is not going to look the same. I guarantee that you are going to get yourself off of that glucose roller coaster. Look, right here. You're going to get yourself off of it. Right there. By prescribing yourself these medications. And what we do in there, we talk about all things. The 14 days is all about clean eating. That's what it's all. It's all about clean eating. It's $79 if you use to join the 14-day challenge. It's $79. The question, how much is it? To join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, the discount code is freedom. It's normally $99, but when I'm live, you use the discount code freedom. Only when I'm live can you use this discount code freedom, and you will join the challenge for $79 instead of $99. It's normally $99 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. All right, but $79, 2 weeks to get off of the roller coaster, guaranteed. You do the work, man. Just think about it. In 2 weeks, in as little as 2 weeks, you're like, Kelley, 2 weeks, bro. I've had diabetes for 10 years. I've had insulin resistance for 15 years. I've had insulin resistance for 30 years, Kelley. What are you talking about 2 weeks? Well, here's what I'm talking about in 2 weeks. I don't care how long it's been, okay? Your body wants to heal. Your body does not want to harbor insulin resistance. Your body wants to function, and your body wants to be at homeostasis. So it wants to do that badly. It wants to survive. It wants to not only survive, it wants to thrive. And if you give it the right tools and the right equipment that it needs, I'm telling you, it will survive. It will not only will it survive, it will thrive. Right? That's it. It will thrive. Those are the people who are doing the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. The people say, I want my body to thrive again. In as little as 2 weeks, your body wants to heal so badly that you're going to be like, what the hell have I been doing the last 20 years? What have I been doing the last 20 years with all these prescriptions that I got? And none of these prescriptions have actually worked. Like I said, somebody hit me up yesterday and they said 13 years. I think they said 15 years, 13 years. It was either 13 or 15. They're taking the insulin and it's not working. I'm like, well, it's just because you're just making yourself more and more insulin resistant. The more and more, here's a scenario. If you've gotten too much sun, would the fix be to go back out, and if you got the sunburn, would the fix be to go back out into the sun? No, it wouldn't be the fix. Will skin tags go away? Yes, skin tags will go away. If it's due to insulin resistance, which most of them are, that's what skin tags are from. Insulin resistance. Too much sugar. The sugar's like got to get out somewhere. It attaches like to everything, to your skin, literally. Your hemoglobin, literally, the sugar is stuck to literally every cell of your body. So skin tags included. Is it going to go away in the 2 weeks? Here's what we're going to do in the 2 weeks. That's more of a transformational thing. But they'll start to come off quickly. But in as little as 2 weeks, check it out. You get off of that roller coaster, you fix the blood sugar, you literally fix everything in your body. You fix the blood sugar, you fix everything in your body. Because insulin, folks, is the king of insulin and blood sugar. They rule over everything in your body. Okay, see some more questions. How much is the program? $79 if you use the discount code FREEDOM. Links in my bio. There we go. Somebody joined the challenge. Shout out to them for joining the challenge. Shout out to them for joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Now they're guaranteed to get off of the roller coaster. If you do the work, you're going to get off the roller coaster. Congratulations. Check your emails. You have a couple of emails from me. Check them out. Yeah, we got you. Welcome. I don't know who it was, but somebody joined the challenge. Lost all my core strength due to major abdominal strength within a month. Can't. Okay. Oh, can't take meds or eat vegetables due to severe abdominal pain. Okay. All right. Major abdominal surgery. Yeah, totally get it. Get yourself better, Christina. Follow the doctor's orders. Okay. Follow the doctor's order. Get yourself back on your feet. I joined. Okay, Bridget, you were not playing around, Bridget. You were serious. Bridget's like, yo, hey, listen. She ain't playing. She doesn't want a little bit of pain now and to replace that regret with regret later. Because a little bit of pain now, I'm going to take you through a lot of pain. It's not going to be a lot of pain. It's a challenge to get you outside of your comfort zone. That's going to be painful. Get outside of your comfort zone. Woo! But it's going to be a whole lot of regret later on. Later, you're going to be like, woo! I beat that regret. I beat it. A little bit of pain right now. Woo, the regret. I avoided the regret. Thank God. Welcome. Let's see here. Okay, that's it, folks. That's good. That's it. You want to join the challenge too? Join it. Use that discount code FREEDOM. You want to get your A1C, start getting your A1C back to the normal range. You're going to have to put in that work. You're going to have to show up. You're going to have to do the work, and you're going to have to do it again tomorrow. That's what you're going to have to do. Let me get some water. Hold on. All right, here we go. Got some highly debated. LG. Oh, okay. Got you. We got some folks over here on the other side jumping in. Yeah. Whole food plant. Whole food plant. Yep. Whole foods, plants, everything. We're going to talk about it all. Vegetables, fruits, vegetables, all of that. Check it out. Here we go. Next thing is, what's the next step? The next subject is, we're going to play a game of blood sugar Tetris, folks. You're like, well, what the heck is blood sugar Tetris? Check this out. Here's what blood sugar Tetris is. This is a game that we're in. The story of life, your life is a game. And depending on how you play this game will determine everything. Depending on how you play this game will determine everything. Check it out. It's called the game of blood sugar Tetris. This is an introduction to clean eating, folks. It's an introduction to clean eating. Check this out. Blood sugar Tetris. The pieces of the game will go like this. Check it out. The pieces of the game go like this. Check it out. Who's ever played Tetris before? Put a me in the chat. If you've ever played Tetris before, put a me in the chat. If you've ever played Tetris before. Who's ever played that game of Tetris before? What happened? What is the point of the game? Who knows what the point of the game is? This. Check it out. Who knows what the point of the game is? You've ever played that game before? Let me see. Me. Yeah, a lot of me's. Me, yeah, me. I mean Tetris. I'm a mean Tetris player. Okay. You're a mean Tetris player. You got it. Look at this. Check this out. Here's Tetris. Check this out. Check this out. Here's Tetris. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull up the game of Tetris. Check it out. Woo! Somebody said that they were a mean Tetris player. To adjust the pieces and move them around. Yep. Look at that. Tetris. Prove it. What am I proving? Tetris? To win. All right. Look at this guy. How to play Tetris. Look at that. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He doesn't even know where he is. Look at him. Look at that guy. How to play Tetris. But this is what we're going to do to introduce this clean eating, folks. We're going to play a game of Tetris first. In this game of blood sugar Tetris. Now, this is a game, but I want you to picture your real life. I want you to picture that you're really in this in your real life. This is what I want you to picture. Check this out. Over here, we got the fats. These are the small pieces. And over here, we got the protein. These are the bigger pieces. And then over here, let me go. I'm going to just put fat. Yeah, okay, fat. And over here, we got the really big pieces. You know the really big pieces? Carbs, carbohydrates. These are macro. These are what's called macronutrients, folks. It's like the whole picture. Everything you eat is either going to be a carbohydrate, a protein, or a fat. Everything, a carbohydrate, a protein, or a fat. Based on how you play this game, folks, you're either going to be eating a fat, a protein, or a carb. Here are the pieces. The fats are the little pieces. The fat is the tiny pieces. Who knows what happens to your blood sugar? Tell me what happens when your blood sugar. When you eat fat, things like avocados, nuts and seeds, you know, some people eat butter, right? What happens? What happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat fats? Does it go up? Does it stay the same? Does it go down? Does it do, what does it do? Let's see. Nothing, somebody says. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Any other guesses? Any other guesses on what happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat fats? Goes down, somebody says. Elvis says it goes down. Okay. The fat, you're right. It doesn't do anything. It stays just like that. It stays pretty neutral. It stays neutral as hell. Yeah, isn't that right, Catherine? What's up, Catherine? Yeah, it stays neutral. So it's the same thing in the game of Tetris. I said we're playing a game of Tetris. When you're playing Tetris and you know those pieces are coming down, it's level 1, and those pieces are coming down, and they're coming down so slowly that you can move the pieces, like somebody said. You can move the pieces back and forth. You can move the pieces so much back and forth that it doesn't even really like. You can move all those pieces. And it wouldn't even matter because the pieces are coming so slowly. And then you can just put it right down here. Wherever you want to put it, that's where the fats go. Wherever you want to put it in the game, you can put it wherever. So that's what's happening to your blood sugar, folks. Think of your blood sugar just like this game. Whenever you eat fats, nothing happens to your blood sugar. Nothing. Okay, who can tell me what happens to their blood sugar, our blood sugar, whenever we eat protein? Whenever we eat protein, folks, what happens to our blood sugar? Can you tell me? Does it go up? Does it stay the same? Does it go down? Does it do nothing? Some people said nothing. What does it do, folks? What does it do? Somebody said not much, but it curbs your appetite. Not much, but it curbs your appetite. Makes you feel fuller for longer. Stays the same. Not much, but it curbs your appetite. Nothing. Slight bump. That's it. It's a slight bump. Yeah, and it does help you feel fuller for longer. It does do that as well. Curb your appetite. Yeah, more protein you got. Yeah, the more satiated you're gonna feel throughout the day. That is correct. But when you're eating your protein, here's what happens to your blood sugar. Yeah, the pieces, it's gonna go up a little bit. It's not gonna go up a lot. It's gonna be so insignificant. The analogy I like to use is if you live in California, it's like 6:52 in the morning in California. If you live in California, folks, you have an earthquake. And when you have an earthquake, you turn on the news later on that night, you be like, hey, I didn't even know that we had an earthquake. I didn't even know that we had an earthquake today. Well, it's because it was so low on the Richter scale that you didn't even feel it, okay? And it's the same thing that happens whenever you eat your proteins. Whenever you eat your protein. So whether you're eating tofu or tempeh, or whether you're eating chicken or fish or salmon, when you're eating protein, chicken, fish, salmon, turkey, whatever, whenever you're eating protein, eggs, whatever, whenever you're eating protein, yeah, it's going to raise it a little bit higher, but it's going to be so so insignificant, really, that it's nothing that your body can't handle. So yeah, the pieces are a little bit bigger. Yeah, they're coming down a little bit faster. But at the end of the day, it's nothing that you can't handle. While you're playing this game of blood sugar Tetris, it's nothing that you can't handle. You know what I'm saying? So so protein, we're good. Proteins are good when we're playing this game. Protein. So you're saying, so basically what I'm saying is you get more, you got to lead up to it. You got some fats, you got some protein. That's called clothing, folks. That's called clothing. Okay, check this out. Who knows what happens to their blood sugar whenever you eat carbohydrates? What happens to your blood sugar, folks? Can you tell me? What happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat carbohydrates? Yeah, you're right. You're right, Severe. Right? Depending on how insulin sensitive you are will determine how high it goes up. You're exactly, or down. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Goes up. Yeah, it goes up. It spikes. Yeah, that's the word. Key people are using the word spikes, raises, goes up, spikes. Some people use the word rockets. Like it shoots up like a rocket. It shoots up like a rocket because these are the big pieces of the game. You played Tetris before. The big pieces of the game. And when they start coming down fast, here's what happens whenever you eat things like pasta and rice and all that stuff. Like they're coming down. These pieces are coming down. And they're coming down so quickly. The big pieces too. You're eating like ho-ho Twinkies and ding dongs. Every time you eat a ding dong, it goes like that. Every time you eat a donut, it goes like that. Okay? Every time you eat, drink a Mountain Dew, it goes like that. Especially when you drink Mountain Dew. Especially when you drink that. It's going up and up and up and up and up. The big pieces. So, folks, who knows what happens in the game? Appreciate that. Who knows what happens in the game, folks, whenever you let these chips pile up? Who knows what happens? Throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Who knows what happens? Appreciate your survey. Shout out to you, boss. Who knows what happens in the game? Mine looks like a roller coaster, but it's between 130. Is that good? We'll talk about it. Hyperglycemia, overstock blood glucose in the bloodstream. That's it. That's it. But we're playing a game of Tetris. We're still on Tetris, folks. What happens in Tetris? Who can tell me in Tetris what happens when these chips pile all the way up to the top? The pieces, they pile all the way up to the top. In the game of Tetris, like what happens? Yeah, that's it. Game's over. That's it. Game over. It's game over. Tetris. Game over. You're going to get one of these. You're going to get one of these screens. Show it over here. Show it over here. You're going to get one of these screens. Game over. When the chips pile all the way to the top, it's going to be game over. Look at that. It's game over. It's game over. But you see, this is a video game, folks. This is a video game. Okay? Tetris is a video game. But your life, the real game of blood sugar Tetris, it's not a game. You see, well, here's what you can do on a game. You can press what's called the reset button, and it will say, would you like to play another game? Watch this. It says, it'll say, would you like to play again? That's what it will say. Would you like to restart the game because you lost this level? Would you like to do that? That's what it does. That's what it says on Tetris. But here's the thing. In real life, when you're insulin resistant and you're playing this game of blood sugar Tetris, you're kind of playing the game a little bit wrong. It means that these chips are going to pile, these blocks are going to pile up a lot quicker than what you'd like. And as a result, the game's going to be over quickly. Just how it is on the game. It's when you start getting to those higher levels, like as soon as you turn the level on, like go, damn it, game's over. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting into the higher levels, and that if you're insulin resistant, the higher your number is. Let's say if your number is at a 10. Let's say if your number is at 11, your A1C is at a 12, or 13, or 14, or 15, or 16, or 17, or 18, or 19. Let's just say if your numbers are that high. That means that you're on a high level in the game. And that means that when you're insulin resistant, that means that those chips are coming down. These chips right here. So every time you drink a Ho-Ho Twinkie, eat a Ho-Ho Twinkie, a Ding Dong Cheetos, all of that stuff. Every time you eat one of those, these chips are piling up so quickly. And ultimately, the game's going to be over a lot quicker than what you'd like. Maybe like, again, 15, 20 years too soon. But here's the thing, though. Again, I say, here's the thing. You can press the reset on the video game. But you cannot press the reset button on your life. You cannot press the reset button on your toe getting amputated. You can't press the reset button on that. You can't press the reset button on losing your vision. On going blind. You can't press the reset button on that. And when you pay the ultimate price, I told you, my sister passed away 2 years ago from the same condition, insulin resistance. She paid the ultimate price, my sister. And my sister's game was over at the age of 55 years old. That's it, folks. This is making sense to y'all. If you want to play this game a whole lot better, if you're going to learn how to play this game a whole lot better, put a health yes in the chat. If you say, damn it, Kelley, I understand the game now. I understand the game now with fats and proteins and carbs and all that stuff. I understand it. Now, not that you can't have the carbs. You just got to know how to play the game a lot better. Put a health yes in the chat if this is making sense to y'all, folks. Put a health yes in the chat. Okay? The game ends. Over. You cannot press the reset button on kidney damage. No, you cannot. Right? Dialysis. Yeah, dialysis. Can't press the reset button on that. That makes sense to y'all, folks? Put a healthy yes in the chat. Nobody put it in the chat. I don't know. Maybe that didn't make sense. Maybe this game of blood. Okay, do I have to go over it again? I got to go over it again. Because it's not making sense to y'all of what it means to play this game or how to play this game. Did I not give you the rules of the game? There we go. There we go. There we go. I can give you the rules of the game. You get some more water. Just got here. Who said that? Kayla? So if you just got here, man, you're in for a treat. We just finished up on what it means to play the game of blood sugar Tetris. If you want to play this game a whole lot better, I want you to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Click the link in my bio. The time is now. Here's the time is now. And the discount code for today is freedom to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is for people who are ready to get off of the roller coaster. If you're ready to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster, and if you're ready to press the reset button on this game while before the game's over, but here's the thing, you gotta press the reset button before the game's over. You want to press that reset button. That's why today's discount code is called freedom. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You can do the quiz, you can do the master class. That's all free stuff. But for my people who are ready for serious change, here it is. the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, folks. And then we're going to get to your questions. And then we're going to talk next. We're going to talk next all things clean eating. Ooh, we love talking about clean eating. That's next, folks. Click right here. Click this link, this picture right here. And click on my picture again. Check it out, folks. Check it out. Click right here. Click on my picture again. And you're going to come to something that looks like this. Here it is. There's the link. There's where all the goodies are. What's on it? I'm pointing you in the right direction, folks, because this is like Disney World for a diabetic. If you've been suffering from insulin resistance, diabetes, PCOS, gestational diabetes, all that stuff, you suffering from all of that, this is the way you want to be. This is like Disney World for you. I'm telling you. Look at my face. Look at that grin on my face, because I know what it is. That's why I'm grinning like that, folks, because I know what it is. I grew up in Orlando, and they wanted me to be Mickey Mouse when I was a kid. I auditioned for the role to be Mickey Mouse, you know, in the costume, but I didn't get it because I was a 1/4 inch too tall. So I know a thing or two about Disney World, folks. Look, the quiz, the master class, absolutely free. Quiz and the master class, absolutely free. Both right there. Look at that. Quiz, master class. And then the PDF, absolutely free. Look, absolutely free. All you got to do is pay attention. That's all you got to do. Pay attention. That's it. 45 minutes in that master class. I'm going to break down the lifestyle medicine formula for you. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. And the main one that most people love is the sleep. Woo, they love the sleep stuff that we talk about in the master class. All right. So if you're struggling with your sleep, very good chance that your blood sugar is also doing the roller coaster. So we're going to teach you how to sleep better. All right. We're going to teach you how to sleep better in that master class. But the cool thing is, all you got to pay for the master class is attention. You just got to pay with your attention for 45 minutes. And then you got to go put that stuff to work. Why? Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. Like I said earlier, if you're just joining us, knowledge without action is just entertainment. And folks, I don't want to entertain you. This is knowledge I'm giving y'all, but I don't want to entertain you. I don't want it just to be entertaining. You just sit back and be like, come on every day, and I'm just being entertained by Kelley. I'm not doing the actions, though. Because check it out. Neglect is quiet. Like, shh. Neglect is quiet. But its consequences are loud. Okay? Neglect is quiet. If you neglect doing the work that you got to do to play this game a whole lot better, real quiet, the neglect. Shh. You just don't have to do anything. Just do what you've been doing. Just shh. But the consequences of that, so loud. Amputations, eyesight, skin tags, low energy, brain fog. Ultimately losing the game. Those are the consequences. So don't let neglect pile up on you. Don't let the neglect pile up on you like it does in this game of Tetris right here. Don't let the neglect do that, man. You've got a responsibility to your family, to your friends, to yourself, most importantly, to your kids, because it's your story. For the people who want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, I want you to use that discount code FREEDOM. FREEDOM. Everything is free on the page except for the challenge. What is it? The reason I can't charge you for the challenge is because there's real people getting real results in this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Real people getting real results. This is what they're saying. I'm saying this. This is what they're saying, and this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you follow this blueprint, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, if you've got high blood sugar, and you've been on the roller coaster for many years, you've been on that blood sugar roller coaster for many years, it's time for you to get off of it. This is your stop. This live today is your stop. It's your stop to say, you know what? Skirt. Like when you get to the roller, you ever been? I told you I grew up in Orlando, so I know a thing or two about amusement parks. Here's the thing: when you get on the roller coaster and you finish, and let's just say there's nobody at the park, or the park's not even open yet, and you get to ride all the rides. They were like, "Hey, there's nobody at the park. There's nobody in line. Would you like to ride again?" Would you like to ride the roller coaster again? Would you want to go for round 2? You could say yes or no. It's choice time. You can say yes or no. But here's what I want you to do. I want to say, no, today's my stop. Today's my stop. I'm getting off of that blood sugar roller coaster because today's my stop. If today's your stop, join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's $99 to join the 14-day challenge. Here it is. Everything that you get in the challenge, everything that you get is there. Everything that you get. It's 42 meals, basically. Basically, what it says is 42 meals, all designed by me. It is a blueprint. That's basically what it means. It says, you show up, you do the work, and you do it again tomorrow. You're going to get off the roller coaster. You're going to get off of the roller coaster. Show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. That's it. It's already designed for you. Go get the groceries, cook the groceries, eat the groceries. The shopping lists are done for you. It's a shopping list. It's everything. It's the meals, the recipes. It's everything that you need. The only thing that's holding you back is just getting started. 2 weeks from now, you can be like, it only took me 2 weeks to get off the roller coaster. And some people get off the roller coaster a lot quicker than that. Some people will come in and give their results, tell their testimony, and they get off the roller coaster even faster than even the 14 days. The 14 days, we're just going to maximize it to make you so insulin sensitive. So whenever you play this game, whenever you press that reset button, you come back to this game, you're going to be so freaking bulletproof that you're going to be bulletproof, basically. That's how insulin sensitive you are going to become. These carbohydrates are not going to be your enemies anymore. They ain't going to be your enemies anymore. Like, oh, I can't go out with my friends. I can't go out with my girlfriends because I can't eat carbs. I can't do this. I can't have a piece of birthday cake. Damn, because of my blood sugar? No. You hang out with me for 2 weeks, we're pressing that reset button. Use the discount code FREEDOM, folks. That's it. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for not $99, but $79. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's it. Let's get to your questions. Any questions on that? Any questions on that? We're going to go to the next thing. I'm a pre-diabetic. Does my diet have to be as strict? It's not about, here's the thing. If you're a pre-diabetic, you don't get a hall pass. You don't get a hall pass. You get what I'm saying? There's no hall pass. You're out at high school and there's nobody in class and you're the only one out there. You got a hall pass. When you're pre-diabetic, it means that you're already sick. It just means that it hasn't gotten bad yet. That's what it means. It means that it hasn't gotten bad yet. So yeah, you got to have, so to answer your question is, you have to have seasons of focus. There's focus and then there's balance. Focus, balance, focus, balance. It cannot be winter and summer in the same place at the same time. It cannot be, it's impossible. So if you say just pre-diabetes, doesn't matter. It means you're still sick. It means that it just hadn't gotten like crazy bad yet. So yeah, you got to have seasons of focus. So there is no hall pass. Yeah. Okay. No more questions. There's no more questions here. This is the Q&A time. This is your Q&A time, folks. If there's no there's no questions. Hey, let's keep it moving. Hello, please. How do I balance my A1C? If you're just joining us, you missed this game of blood sugar Tetris right here. We're about to talk about clean eating right now, but that's what it's all about, folks. Clean eating, effective sleep, peaceful mind, active body. That's how you balance your blood sugar. Howie, you got to show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. What's the work? Having a peaceful mind. It's a formula. Click the link in my bio. If you click right up here, click the link in my bio and register for the quiz. Register for the masterclass. In the masterclass, I break down, if you're just joining us, I break down peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. What is it that you have to do in these areas to bring down your A1C naturally? Because that is the only way that you're going to bring down your A1C, folks. That's the only way. It's the only way. My problem is I'm a picky eater. Clean body out to remove sugar. There are foods I do not eat. Well, that's fine. There's a lot of foods that just because there's foods out, just because you're a picky eater, doesn't mean that that's not your problem. It's not. The problem is you're not. It's not that you're a picky eater. The problem is you got to know how to eat. So picky eater or not, there's so much variety out there that's just the you can't fall. You can't, like I told you, you can't pull anything on me. You can't pull anything on. I'm gonna show you why you can't pull anything on me. If you're just joining us, check this out. If you're just joining us, here's who I am. Here's who I am if you're just joining us. Here's who I am. I was a diabetic, I had heart disease, and I was obese, a triple whammy. All of these were diagnosed at the very same doctor's visit. The very same doctor's visit, I got diagnosed with this. So I know what it takes. I know the work that's involved. There's a lot of work that's involved when it comes to your lifestyle, changing your lifestyle, changing your eating habits, changing your exercise routines, changing your sleeping pattern, changing all of that stuff. I know how difficult that is. Look, you see the difference between the two pictures here? Look. The one on the left, I'm holding a pot in my hand. Who knows what the heck I was cooking? And then the other side, I'm holding weights in my hand. Look at the difference between. That's all because of I changed the way that I was thinking. I changed the way that I was going at things. Look at that. I changed it all. I literally tore up my script one day, 2 weeks before I got this diagnosis. Is when I took before I got the diagnosis of heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. I took this picture. I didn't even know that I had diabetes. I didn't even know that I had heart disease. Look at the after picture now. Look how many inches I lost off my waist. How many inches I lost? Look at that. How many inches I lost? Those were my pants. Okay? Those were my pants a year prior. So I know a thing or two about what it takes. And it takes you getting up every day, managing your stress, moving your body, being active, clean eating. So whatever clean eating is for you, I know you say you're a picky eater, but whatever clean eating is for you, we're going to talk about clean eating right now. And then the next thing is effective sleep and how are you managing substance abuse, things like alcohol. These are the 4 areas. These are the areas, folks. Click the link in my bio, register for the quiz, register for the masterclass where I break down that formula. It's called the Freedom Formula. That is why today's discount code is FREEDOM. You're quite welcome. Looked like you were draining pasta spaghetti. Where? Draining pasta or spaghetti? Yeah. So here, I'm here listening. Yeah. Yeah. Listen in. Listen in. We're here every day, 7:15 Central Standard Time to 11 a.m. We're here for about 4 hours every day. It's a morning show. It's a morning show, basically. It's a morning show. It's a morning show. It comes on every morning, 6 days a week, every day except for Sunday. We take Sundays off. But it's a morning show, folks. Come wake up with Kelley. Well, that's it, folks. Let me see. All right, we're going to go to the next thing. We're going to the next thing, folks. Like I said, you want to know how to play this game a lot better? I want you to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You use the live discount code when I'm live. It is called FREEDOM. FREEDOM is the live discount code. You use that code, you're joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But again, the challenge is not for everybody. The challenge is not for everybody. The challenge is only for the people who've gotten in enough pain. If you've gotten in enough pain, the challenge is for you. If you haven't gotten into enough pain, then the challenge is probably not going to be for you. In that picture, you said that you didn't know what you were cooking. Oh yeah, spaghetti, pasta, spaghetti. Yeah, probably. It probably was some spaghetti. Okay, probably was. Knowing me, cook something. Same spaghetti that my mom taught me how to make. I was probably making that. See, when it comes to spaghetti, which one are you? We're going to talk all things clean eating right now. That's a perfect segue to talk about clean eating. When it comes to the spaghetti, put it in there. We're going to do a vote, folks. How do you prefer your spaghetti? Is it, make the sauce by itself and the noodles by itself? Or do you combine the sauce and the noodles together Which one are you? Do you separate, put separate or combine? Separate or combine? Which one are you? Which one are you when it comes to your spaghetti, folks? Huh? Oh, you like to separate it. Lisa likes to separate it. Lisa likes to separate it. Let's see. Who else? Ooh, separate it. Sauce and noodles separate. Ooh, somebody said combined. Ooh, put it together. Ooh. Which one's gonna come in with who's gonna win this debate? Who's gonna win this debate? I put them together, combined. Okay. Separate. Sauce and noodles separate. Okay. Separate. Oh, separated won it, man. Separated won it by a landslide. Separated won it by a landslide. That's how it is. That's how my mom cooked the spaghetti. She separated it so that she can make the sauce. So she could just like the sauce. So she could like literally, you know how people say put your elbows in the sauce? She literally could put her elbows in the sauce. Separate is the old way for me. Separate is still win. Apparently, it's not the old way, Catherine. Apparently, it's the way of the future because that's what everybody's doing. Unless they're just stuck in their ways, which you know what, you know what, Catherine, you might be right because people are stuck in their ways. They're stuck in their ways. Like some people refuse to learn AI. Like I refuse to learn AI. Well, you can be refusing to learn AI, but you're gonna get left behind. You're gonna get left behind if you refuse to learn AI. You can be stuck in the old way. All right, that's just what's gonna happen. Clean eating plate, folks. Who enjoys? Do me a favor, folks. Whenever they say you gotta lose some weight, whenever they say you gotta lose some weight, who hates it when they say, "Listen, we got you to lose some weight, man. We need you to lose that weight." But to lose that weight, you're gonna have to count these calories. You're gonna have to weigh these foods. You're gonna do all that stuff. Clean eating. The clean eating plate. Who hates doing that? Put a me in the chat. If you hate that doing that, put a me in the chat. You hate counting all them doggone calories. You hate weighing all that doggone food. You hate counting all them doggone macronutrients. Put a me, I hate that. I have to keep up with the times. Yeah, technology, you do. But I don't know about the spaghetti one though. I don't know. Me. A lot of people hate doing that. Who hates it over here? Who hates it over here? All right. Me. All right. What if there were a different way of doing this, folks? But what if there were a different way? What if there were a different way to eat these foods? To eat the foods that you love and still bring your blood sugar down and get off of the roller coaster and lose the weight, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Weight isn't my problem, thank God. Yeah, but trying to figure out what to eat is what to eat and not eat is overwhelming. That's why we're gonna break that whole thing down for you right now, Lisa, because you're exactly right. It is very, very overwhelming. It is. Some people say eat this. That's why I don't get into people with debates anymore about telling people about. It's highly debated. It's so highly debated that it's freaking exhausting. It's just like a world, so endless stop. So I say, people, now, whatever it is that you eat, you got to be eating. As long as it's from these categories: fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, beans, and whatever sources of protein that you eat. So whether it's chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, tofu, tempeh, whatever it is that you eat. Like I told you, I don't tell people what to eat anymore because it's highly debated. It's so exhausting. Eat whatever you want. Just make sure that you're not eating the crap. Things like processed meats and and like bacon and salami and all of that jazz. Stay away from that section. That's not clean eating. Okay? But whole unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. Right? 50%. All right, let's say, here's my version of clean eating. Here's how we can say, you know what, let's just simplify this whole thing and let's just say forget about it. 50% non-starchy veggies. Non-starchy veggies, folks. You're like, well, what the hell are non-starchy veggies? There's a whole list of these things, but the non-starchy veggies go like this. The celeries, the broccolis, the cucumbers, the kales, the spinach, the cauliflower, carrots, bell peppers. These are non-starchy veggies. Put it in there. You can do a search. There's a bunch of these things. But do a search for non-starchy veggies, and you're going to get some stuff that comes up like this. Those things that I named. Now, fill your plate with 50% of those veggies. Right? Now, the next category. Protein, highly debated topic. What protein should I eat? We're just going to keep it simple. Whatever protein you like, whatever protein you prefer, just make sure it's not the processed stuff. So whether it's chicken, whether it's turkey, whether it's salmon, whether it's eggs, whether it's tofu, whether it's tempeh, whichever you prefer. These are the proteins that we're talking about. These are leaner sources of protein. Again, the other stuff is not the pepperoni and the bologna and the hot dogs. No, that's not the protein. No, it is protein, but it also comes with other some more added benefits, I guess you could say. They're not benefits. They're the opposite of benefits. Some health hazards. Eating those are called group 1 carcinogens. A hot dog, piece of bologna, a pepperoni is called what's called a group 1 carcinogen. Look up what a group 1 carcinogen is, and then you tell me if you want to still eat that. Okay? So these are leaner sources of proteins. Fats. Okay, what kind of fats? Avocados, nuts and seeds. The oils, what are the 3 oils? Only 3 oils that are approved. Only 3, folks. Only 3. Only 3. Yeah, I said user 247, whatever you prefer. That's what you prefer. Fantastic. But the 3 oils, look, the 3 oils: avocado, coconut, olive. Avocado, coconut, olive. Only 3 oils that are approved. If it's not any of those 3 oils, here's what I want you to do. I want you to find the biggest dumpster that you can. I want you to find the biggest dumpster that you can, and I want you to toss it in the dumpster. Just go to your pantry right now. Let's open your pantry right now, and you find that big yellow tub of canola oil, and I want you to get that big yellow tub of canola oil, and I want you to take it, and I want you to just drop it in the trash. Hopefully it's trash day where you live. Where you live, I hope it's trash day. That's it. Those are the only 3 approved oils. Well, people are gonna be like, well, what about grapeseed oil? What about this oil? What about? I just keep it simple. If it's not any of these 3 oils, avocado, coconut, or olive, you're like, well, what about this oil? If it's not any of these 3 oils, you just keep on saying it. Well, what about these oils? If it's not, just keep saying it. That's it. Throw it away. Those are seed oils. You do not want those in your life. Trust me. Right? You don't want those. Final category. Carbs. Ooh. And fruit. Then I'm going to put a down arrow over here. I'm going to put a down arrow over here. Reason we're putting the down arrow is because there's a very specific rules when it comes to the carbohydrates. Very specific rules. You can go down, but you can't go up. Well, what do you mean you can go down, but you can't go up, Kelly? Here's what I mean. I'm gonna grab my plate over here. Here's, folks. This is what's called a clean eating plate. This clean eating plate is not something I just made up. It's a real thing. It's a real thing that you can go get. It's called a clean eating plate. Go get yourself one of these, right? And you can go get one out of my TikTok showcase. I'll show you where to get it. It's in my showcase. You want to get one of those. Why? It's because you can start manipulating this board. You can play around with this board. These things are straw. These things are made out of straw. They're not plastic, right? They're sturdy. You can take these things wherever you go. You can take them to a party. You can take it to the cookout. You can take them wherever you go. You can take these things with you because that's how serious you are about your health. That's how serious you are about getting off of that roller coaster. And here's what you can do when you're out in the real world. Watch. I told you I'm going to give y'all practical stuff. I'm not giving y'all hoopla. I'm giving you practical stuff that you can do. Same stuff that I did to go from being obese and diabetic and heart disease and all of that stuff. Same stuff I did. I'm teaching you. Check this out. 50% veggies can go right here. 25% protein and fats can go right there. Look. Your carbs can go right there. What kind of carbohydrates are we talking about? Complex carbohydrates like rice, pasta. You know, well, not all of the pasta. We're going to try to eliminate we were talking about spaghetti earlier, right? We want to do things like lentil pasta or chickpea pasta. Not the other pasta. Like the regular pasta that we grew up on, not that pasta. The one you take it and it sticks to the wall, like let's see if it'll stick to the wall. Like that's how do you know if it's done? You take it and boom, when it sticks to the wall, that's how you know it's done, right? You take it out like, oh, is this done? I don't know. Throw it against the wall. All right, you're quite welcome. Who said that, classy baby? Yeah, you're quite welcome. Throw it against the wall. Those are not the kind of carbs we want. We want things like rice, whatever kind of rice that you want, pasta, rice, whether it's white rice, brown rice, a black rice, wild rice. The reason that it doesn't matter is because we're obeying a very specific rule. You can go down on the carbs, but the max is 25%. You can't go higher than 25% on your carbohydrates. So it's basically whatever you want, except for like the ding dongs and all the Cheetos and all. We're not talking about that. That ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about things like potatoes and quinoa and farro and rice and pasta, certain pastas, right? This is what we're talking about. Fruit. What kind of fruit? The lower glycemic index fruit. Things like berries. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, things like kiwis. Kiwis are fantastic for blood sugar. Peaches. Peaches are great. These are things that are approved. Things that you might want to use some caution with is this. You want to use caution when it comes to bananas. If you're suffering from insulin resistance and you're on the roller coaster already, one of the things you want to use caution with is bananas. You want to make sure that bananas, grapes, mangoes, you can eat those, but you got to be very strategic in how you eat it. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Whenever you eat a lot of that fruit, they're higher glycemic index fruits, and especially if you eat it on an empty stomach. If you eat those fruits on an empty stomach, those ones that I named, it's going to make your blood sugar go so high that you couldn't even possibly imagine. You're playing a game of blood sugar Tetris. Remember we talked about blood sugar Tetris? You're playing that game all wrong. You're loading up on the big blocks. Remember the blocks? You're loading up on the big blocks. Okay, real fast. Whenever you're eating a banana, whenever you're eating watermelon, whenever you're eating all that stuff on an empty stomach. Yes, you can eat it, but it's a very strategic way. Basically, you want to eat those fruits. If you eat those fruits, you want to eat them as a dessert. Eat a banana. You can eat a banana, okay? Eat one after your dinner or after your lunch, sorry. Eat it after lunch, preferably, right? You want to eat some watermelon, all right, eat some watermelon after you've had your supper. right around the time, because what that did is now, if you're filling up on the veggies like I told you, if you're filling up on the veggies like we talked about, if you're filling up on the fats and proteins first, here's how you eat it: 1, 2, 3. Look, 1, 2, 3 in this specific order. Eat this side first. Look, boom, 1. That's your veggies. Woo, fiber first, right? Number 2, your fats. Look at that, your fats and your proteins. Fats and proteins are second. And then finally, what do you eat? 3. So you eat 1, then you eat 2, then you eat 3. Why is 3 last? It's because now we've got some clothing. We've got some clothing with the fiber. We've got some clothing. This is why they say to do that. This is why people always say eat your fiber, all that stuff first, is because you're putting clothing on it. It's a fancy way of saying put some clothing on your damn carbs. Don't be out here eating your carbs naked. Don't be out here eating naked fruit. So clothing is this. The fiber, the fats, and the protein is the clothing. So never walk out of your house. You'd never walk out of your house. You'd never walk out of your house like you're at the nudist colony or something, right? You never do that in the real world. Why? Even if you're at a nudist colony, if you go out into the real world, what do you got to do? You got to put some clothing on, don't you? Growing up as a kid, I grew up when I grew up in Florida. On the way to school every day, on the way to school, we turn off, right? But there's a couple ways to get there. There's a nudist colony in my neighborhood where I grew up, in my hometown. There's a nudist colony, and we used to always be like, man, let's just go peek over the fence one day. We were kids. My point is, you're gonna be at the nudist colony. Make sure you put some clothing on when you come out into the real world. We never climbed that fence though. We wanted it. It's like a brick fence. We were thinking about it because we were kids. You know, you're kids, you're curious. So we didn't do it though. But we could just visualize what was over that wall. There's a lot of people, not wearing clothing. It's a nudist colony. But my point is, if those people from those nudist colonies want to come out into the real world, they'd have to put on some damn clothing. And it's the same thing. So follow that rule, folks. Never eat naked carbs. Never eat naked fruit. I don't know what that analogy literally just came up with that analogy. That's not something I practice. I just literally just came up with that analogy right now. It just seemed like the appropriate time. And now I'm going to put it in my memory bank. Now I'm going to use that analogy in my next book. In my next book, which is going to be out next year, by the way. In my next book, I'm going to put that analogy in there. Anyhow, back to business, folks. You can manipulate this number. You can say, what happens if you say, you know what, Kelley, today you come in, you can change these numbers around. You can say, today, Kelley, I feel like more veggies. I feel like more protein than veggies. So you can just flip your plate around. Just grab your plate like this. Boom. Boom. Get your plate 50% veggies right here. Look, the top. You can shift it. You can shift the plate. Your plate doesn't have to be exactly like this. You can shift your plate. See what I'm saying? Now you're 50% veggies. Now you got more protein because you want more muscles, right? So you're like 50% protein. So then you can ask people ask like, well, what percentage of your diet is protein? And you can just do the math. Like, yes, 50% of my diet for the last month has been protein, or 50% of it has been veggies or whatever. So you can change the percentage on the proteins. You can change the percentage on the veggies. You can go high, you can go low, whatever. The only one that you cannot change the percentage on is the carbs. You can go down, but you can't go up. You can go down, but you can't go up, folks. That's the rule. You can fill your plate however you want, whatever non-starchy veggies you want, whatever proteins and fats that you want. But when it comes to the carbohydrates, you can fill that up too. You can fill your plate up right here, but you can't go up 25%. That's it. It taps out. That's it. Ding, 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 ding. You can go down to 0%, 50, you can go all the way down to 0%, folks. 5%, 10%, whatever percent. Because out of all the macronutrients, carbohydrates are the only ones that are not essential. Did you know that? They're not, thank you for the daily heart me. They're not essential. There's essential fats and essential proteins. Essential fat, essential protein. Things like omega-3 fatty acids. Things like amino acids, essential amino acids. Essential amino acids. You see the word that I use there? Essential? See, the reason that they're essential is because of this. You need them. Carbohydrates are great to have. They're great bonuses. But if you stripped your body all the way down, if you stripped it all the way down to its bare nothings, all your body wants is glucose. And your body will shift over. It doesn't need carbs. It needs glucose. It will shift over. These are great to haves. That's why they're third on the chart. They're great to haves, but they're the least important. They give you quick energy, but what you would prefer, especially if you're suffering from insulin resistance, what you would prefer is nice, clean energy like this. Sections 1 and sections 2. Nice, clean energy. You can have these, but in the right amount. That's why you can have them, but you can have them, but you can't go up on them. That's it. That's the only rule, folks. That's the only rule. So this is part 1 of the clean eating plate. We're still building our plate, folks. Don't worry. Don't worry. Now we're going to get to your questions. Now, if you need help with this, this is what we do in the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Well, we don't do this in the challenge. This is advanced stuff. This is advanced stuff. In the challenge, we're going to keep it super simple. It's boot camp. We're going back to boot camp whenever we go in the challenge. Right? We're going to boot camp. So 14 days, all designed by me. The idea is to get you off of the roller coaster. To get you off of that roller coaster. Remember I said before, you get on that, you're riding in the amusement parks and your blood sugar's on the roller coaster and you get to the stop, like the ride's over. The question is, are you going to stay on that ride or are you going to get off? Because there is no line. There's no line. Are you going to stay on the ride or are you going to get off of the roller coaster? My suggestion would be to get off of the roller coaster. If you hang out with me for 14 days, I promise you we're going to get you off of that roller coaster. I promise you we're going to get you back on stable ground. Your blood sugar is going to be back on stable ground. From the however it is, 400s, whatever. There's been people on this blood sugar reset challenge, their blood sugar has been high as 400. Some people even somebody told me that their blood sugar was 700. 700. She joined the challenge. Somebody's blood sugar 400. They joined the challenge. 14 days later, they back in the hundreds or below the hundreds. 14 days later, they got off the roller coaster. The question is, are you going to get off the roller coaster? Or are you going to stick the pain out a little bit longer? How long can you go? The question, you're testing yourself, aren't you? I know you are. A lot of people want to test themselves to see how strong they are, to see how much pain that they can handle. You want to see how much pain you can handle? Okay. How long have you been dealing with this pain? 5 years? Has it been 10 years? Has it been 15 years? Has it been 20 years? How long is the pain going to go? How long is you going to let the pain go before you get to the point where, all right, the pain is too much. It's a little bit too uncomfortable for me. So the only thing that I can do right now is take action. Have you gotten to that point yet? Where the only thing that you can do right now is take action because the pain has gotten so bad? What kind of action? Whatever kind of action it is that you need. Right? Because I remember I told you before, we can have a whole bunch of knowledge, but knowledge without action is just straight up entertainment. If you're watching me and you're just like, I'm getting a lot of knowledge, and I'm not going to apply anything that he says, I'm gonna just do what I do. I'm gonna still do. I'm gonna just take all the knowledge in. I'm gonna just watch the movie. I'm watching my own movie. And then when I get up out of the movie, I don't do anything from the movie. You want to know what that's called? Here's what that's called. That's called the law of diminishing intent. It means you were meaning to do something, but you pushed it off. And the fact that you pushed it off doing the work, now, when it comes to it, you're not motivated anymore. And the idea is not strong. I mean, the idea is not hot and the emotion is not strong anymore. So you don't do the work. You just fall back into your normal ways. So you got to do it when the idea is hot and the motivation is strong. If somebody's out there like they wrote a book on good health, you be like, hell yeah, give me that book. I need a good book on good health. Somebody got a 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and people are out there getting healthy and getting off the roller coaster. Hell yeah, I need to join that challenge too and get off of the roller coaster. Because if they can do it, why can't I do it? If they got off the roller coaster, why can't I? If Kelley got off the roller coaster, why can't he? If Leslie got off the roller coaster, Leslie's gonna be, she comes in my life a lot. If she got off the roller coaster. Lisa sent me a message the other day saying she got off the roller coaster. Okay, question is, are you gonna get off the roller coaster? Yeah, you gotta take action. If you want to take action, you click the link in my bio right here, and then I'm gonna get to your questions. You click the link in my bio and you register for that. You register for all of this. You do whatever it is that you got to do. Here's what it is that you got to do. Click right up here, and then click on my picture again, and then you're gonna click on this link right here. Same thing over here, right? Click on that. Click same thing over on this camera. Click that link in my bio. Right here. There's the quiz, the masterclass, all free stuff. But if you're ready for that action, people who are ready for action, people who are ready for serious change, like, you know what, Kelley? I think I'm ready to get off of that roller coaster, bro. Because they're for amusement parks. Roller coasters are not made for my blood sugar. And my blood sugar is not meant to be on a dang on roller coaster. It's not meant to be high, low, high, low, high, low, hypoglycemia, reactive hypoglycemia, all types of stuff. And your blood sugar is not meant for all the high highs and the low. Your blood sugar is not meant for 700. It's not meant for, your blood sugar is not meant for like 40. It's meant between 70 and 100. That's where it wants to stay at, between 70 and 100. When you're off, you know when you're off the roller coaster. When you wake up every day and your blood sugar is below 100, it's between 70 and 100. You wake up every day and your blood sugar is between 70 and 100. You know that you're off the roller coaster. You're officially off the roller coaster. You can celebrate. You want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge to get off of that roller coaster. It's $99 to join this challenge. All right. Well, here's where everything that you get. It's $99 to join that challenge. But if you use the live discount code freedom, like right there. At checkout, while I'm live, you use that discount code freedom. You join the challenge for not $99. It's $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. What are we doing? We're getting you off the roller coaster. That's what we're doing. It's guaranteed to get you off the roller coaster if you do the work. Why? Because it's a blueprint. It's a blueprint. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. Is it going to be challenging? Yeah, it's going to be challenging. That's why I specifically called it a challenge. And it's specifically for people who have been on the blood sugar roller coaster for many, many, many years. And they said, you know what? I'm getting off of it. I'm getting my life back. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm keeping my eyes. I'm keeping my toes. I'm keeping all of that stuff. I'm keeping my toes, man. You ain't getting mine. It's for those people who are said that enough is enough. Let's not hit rock bottom. Let's not wait to hit rock bottom. Like I hit rock bottom. Let's not wait to hit like rock bottom like me. Watch. That picture on the right, that's rock bottom. When I see my stomach, that's rock bottom. That's rock bottom, folks. That's called rock bottom. 2 weeks after I took this picture, I got my diagnosis. The big picture, see the big picture? 2 weeks after I took this picture is when I hit rock bottom, right there. 2 weeks after that. Look at it. Look at my goofy looking grin on my face. I had no idea what was coming. goofy looking grin on my face. Look at it. Goofy looking grin. 2 weeks later, I had no idea that I was going to get diagnosed with diabetes and heart disease. Some people call it a S-H-I-T eating grin, a eating grin. That's what some people call it. That's the look I had on my face, a eating grin. No, it's not a nice smile. It's called a eating grin, Catherine. 2 weeks later, I had no idea. That's it, folks. It's a real game out here. It's a real game. And you ready to get it? You ready to play the game right? Hang out with me for 2 weeks and I got you. You can be one of the success stories, just like everybody else. Use that discount code FREEDOM. You join the challenge for $79. That's it, folks. That's it. Let me see. See if I missed any questions. That's it. All right, any questions? No questions. All right, cool. No questions on clean eating. That's a first. Y'all don't have any questions on clean eating? All right, cool. Maybe I hit that. Maybe I explained it so well today because usually this is the most controversial topic. I'm using Dexcom G7. My range right now is 7 to 8. Is a 7 to 8 with a 7.1 A1C. Is that a good reading? 78 is a good reading, yeah. 78 is a good reading. How long has it been at 78? Is that something that just happens as it's consistently around that range? Right? Is your A1C coming down? Or is it staying the same? That's the question. We got to dig a little bit deeper into it. We got to dig deeper. But 78 is good. 7.1, not so much. So that's why we got to dig deeper. Okay. Nobody's got any questions on clean eating. Typically, a lot of folks have a lot of questions on clean eating, but not today. Not today. All right. The live discount code, FREEDOM, folks. That's it. The quiz is free. The masterclass is free. Join the quiz. Join the masterclass. Take the quiz. Register for the masterclass. It's all free. It's all linked in my bio. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is there as well. You want to use that discount code, FREEDOM, folks. Up and down. Can you discuss water intake and the use of Celtic salt? Water intake is great. Celtic salt, great. The thing about water is just to stay hydrated. I know that there's an arbitrary number that people say, oh, hit this number. But ideally, the recommendations are this. Drink half of your weight in body in ounces. So if you weigh 120 pounds, drink 60 ounces of water a day. Right? Celtic salt, you can throw some Celtic salt in there. Yeah. That's good for the electrolytes. So yeah, throw that in there. Throw some sodium in there, a little sodium in there. You're good. You can throw that in there, a little bit of Celtic salt. So yeah, fantastic. Do that first thing in the morning. Here's what I would do. If you do that first thing in the morning. Also, to top it off, squeeze a little lemon over the top. Squeeze a little lemon over the top with your water and your Celtic salt. A little lemon. It'll make it even more hydrated. But ideally, whatever your body weight is, cut that in half. That's how many ounces of water you should be having. That's the recommendation. Now, my thing is you just need to stay hydrated. Whatever it is for you to stay hydrated, man, stay hydrated. That's the point. That's how much water you need. Stay hydrated. Okay, beans. Let's go down to the next part. Since there's no questions, let's keep building on this plate. Oh, where I told you I can get this, where you can get this plate. What did I tell you can get this plate? You can get this plate from my showcase. I'm going to show you where that is because a lot of people don't know what a showcase is. Where's the showcase? It's right here. Here's the showcase. Right here. See there? On TikTok, it's in my showcase. Here it is. Look. Showcase is somewhere around here. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. There it is. See those little bars right there up top? There's a showcase. There's where you can get those plates right there. Boom. There's the plates. There's some nice plates. They're nice and deep. Like I've seen some plates. I've seen some other plates. I'm like, yo, bro, where did you get that plate, man? That is the tiniest plate I've ever seen. No wonder you're always talking about you're not hungry. No wonder. No wonder. Get yourself one of these clean eating plates and make your life a whole lot simpler. No more counting calories. We don't do that. We don't count calories. We're not weighing food. We're not measuring stuff. All we're doing is using our plate. That's it. We ain't measuring none of that. We just using our plate. That's it. That's it. Oh, hold on. All right, here we go. All right, next one, beans. Great equalizer. These are the, what do you like? What do you mean beans are the great equalizer? Well, here's what I mean by beans are the great equalizer. When it comes to beans, they're resistant starch. You're like, well, what's a resistant starch, Kelley? A resistant starch is a starch that cannot be digested. You cannot digest beans. You cannot digest the fiber from the bean. They're resistant starch. You're like, well, what does that mean, Kelley? What does that mean? Here's what it means. It means that whenever you eat beans, they go into your stomach and then they go into your small intestines. At that point, you're supposed to start digesting them. When they start going into your small intestines, leave your stomach into your small intestines, digestion begins. Well, it begins as soon as you put it in your mouth. But no, it even begins before. It begins as soon as you smell it. Whenever you smell food, that is when digestion begins. You know how you start getting saliva and you're like, ooh, my mouth is watering? It's because your stomach knows that something good is coming. It's like something good is coming. So your mouth starts watering, starts salivating. That's when the digestion begins. But when it goes into your stomach, these beans, they go undigested through your small intestines. And then they get down into your large intestines. And when they get to your large intestines, woo, that is where they cannot be digested. But the fiber from the beans, remember the fiber we talked about? The fiber from the beans, it gets eaten, doesn't get digested. It gets eaten, like they eat it, like they eat it up. They devour it. They leave it without a trace. Who's ever watched that TV show called Without a Trace back in the day? It's like somebody's vanity. It was a TV show. It's like came on like 20 years ago or something. Came on with like Law and Order. But it's without a trace. Like the person is gone here, and then one day they're walking, and next thing you know, they're gone without a trace. You didn't even know that they were somebody. So they had to do an investigation to go find the person who disappeared without a trace. It's the same thing that happens to your fiber. To the fiber, whenever the gut bugs from your large intestines get a hold of it. Right? Without a trace. They eat up the fiber without a trace, your gut bugs. And they love it. That's why it's without a trace. Here's the thing, folks. That is why beans are that's why beans are a superfood, because it causes you to slow digest your. It's going to release carbohydrate. Yeah, it's going to raise your blood sugar. But if you really look at it, how slowly it's raising your blood sugar, it's raising your blood sugar so slowly. So now insulin has a chance to respond. Insulin has a chance to respond. So if you do that enough times, if you keep training it to do that, instead of spiking, you're training it to go like this, like come down nice and smooth. Instead of all the spikes, yeah, they're a start. They're going to raise your blood sugar, but they're going to do it so smoothly that insulin has a chance to respond. And if you do that enough times, guess what's going to happen? You're going to become more insulin sensitive at that point. That is the power of the beans, folks. That is the power of them. They're called the resistant starch. So beans. Here's another thing about beans. You don't want to eat beans and rice together. Here's another rule. We talked about this rule over here. But this rule of no beans and rice together. No beans and rice together. Why? It's because now you're basically, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, here's the thing. You're suffering from insulin resistance. Let me say that. No beans and rice together. You're like, well, why no beans and rice together, man? What's up with beans and rice, bro? What's up? Well, here's why. It's because these are carbohydrates, or these are starches. These are our starches over here. This is a resistant starch. But if you combine the beans with the carbs and your insulin resistance, you're kind of defeating the purpose. They're kind of joining forces, basically. It's kind of like good versus evil. We talk about analogies, right? It's kind of like Batman joining forces with the Joker. Would Batman ever join forces with the Joker? Would Scooby-Doo and the gang ever join forces with the Ghost? Scooby-Doo and the gang would never join forces with the Ghost, would they? Chucky, you see Chucky right here. He wanted to join forces with Andy. Chucky wanted to join forces with Andy. If that would have, he did. If that would have happened, he would have become the most powerful being. But this is what happens whenever you eat beans and rice together. You combine Chucky and Andy together, and you create it like something like it's alive, basically. Your blood sugar is going to go so high that you can't even possibly imagine. So if you go to Popeyes and you get their red beans and rice, and then you go to Popeyes and you get that with the biscuit, and then you get the 2-piece chicken spicy with all of the breading, and then with the biscuit you get your honey to go on top of the honey. Like now, they'd be like, how much honey do you want? Let me get 2 things of honey, and you just put all the honey on there on both biscuits, and you just get the biscuit all sloppy and sticky, and you eat it up. You do that with the beans and rice, your blood sugar is going to go so high that you couldn't even possibly imagine. And it's going to stay elevated for so long that you're going to put yourself on a roller coaster. We're going to talk about what happens when you do that. You're going to put yourself on a roller coaster. So that's it, folks. That's the number rule. That's the rule. Don't do that. Come back around. Boom. You do it again the next day. Now, do you have to eat like this all the time? No. It's about what you do most of the time that matters the most. It's what you do the most that matters the most. This is what you're going to have to do, folks. Do I talk about this is what we do in the 14-day challenge? No, we don't do this in the challenge. This is more advanced stuff. This is real life stuff. The 14-day challenge is it's a blueprint. All you got to do is follow the blueprint. That's it. Now, when you graduate from the 14-day challenge, right? It's beyond the challenge. That's what it is. That's the next step, beyond the challenge. This is called beyond the challenge right here. Beyond the 14-day challenge is this. So again, this is what I teach my clients. I probably shouldn't even be teaching y'all this because this is what we do beyond the challenge. This is what we do beyond the challenge. Beyond the 14 days, after you get out of boot camp. I was in the Navy. I love analogies. Check it out. I was in the Navy and we go to boot camp. Everybody had to go to boot camp. I went to boot camp in Great Lakes. We all had to go stand at attention. Yes, sir. Salute, all that stuff. We had to learn the Sailor's Creed and all that stuff. I am a United States sailor. I was support and defend the Constitution of the United States. You know what I mean? That's the stuff that everybody had to do that in boot camp. And then when you graduate from boot camp, then you go to A school and then you go get your duty assignment. And in real life, you're in the real Navy, as we call it. You're in the real Navy now. Same thing whenever you graduate from my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You're going to go through, everything's going to be the same. We're going to put your blood sugar through a boot camp to get you off of that roller coaster. And then after you get off of that roller coaster, then real life kicks in. This is real life. This is, like I said, this was the real Navy. This is real life. It's what I teach you when you get out of the boot camp. It's called Beyond the Challenge, folks. Okay? But before you do Beyond the Challenge, you got to go through the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You want to go through that challenge? You want to use that live discount code. It is a live discount code. We got an hour left, folks. You want to use that live discount code. Today's code is FREEDOM. You join the challenge for not $99, but it's $79. You join that challenge. You ready to join the challenge? You ready to put the excuses to the side? You ready to say enough is enough? Today is my day. Today is the day I get off of that roller coaster. Today is the day that I said, I've got so disgusted with this medication that I'm taking, and I just threw it against the wall. You say, Kelley, I don't want to hit rock bottom, bro. I don't want to hit rock bottom. All right? But to do that, you gotta have this mindset. You gotta say, The effort that I skip today is the regret I'll feel tomorrow. If I skip the effort today, you want to know how much regret I'll feel tomorrow? You hang out with me for 2 weeks, you're going to look back and be like, dang, in 2 weeks, that's all this man said it's going to take is 2 weeks. He ain't making the stuff up because there's a whole bunch of people that's come in and said the same thing about these lifestyle changes. They hung out with me for 2 weeks and they've got these results. He ain't just making it up. I saw his pictures. He ain't just making this up. The only thing you haven't seen is my medical record, right? But here's the thing. If a doctor just saw me today, if I was a brand new patient of theirs and they didn't know anything about me, they would never know that I had heart disease. They'd never know that I was obese, and they'd never know that I was a diabetic. They'd never know. Only way that they know is if I told them, or if they pull my record. That's the only way that they know. If I showed them pictures, just like I showed you my pictures, that's the only way that they know. Same thing is going to happen to you. That's going to be your story. Let's get to these questions. See if we got any questions. Any questions on that? Any questions on clean eating? There's a movie called Without a Trace too. Both good. No doubt. LOL. Thank you, sir. Okay. So there's no more questions. I'm telling you, quiet group today, man. Y'all are quiet today. Either I'm doing a great job or I don't know. Y'all are quiet today, folks. No questions, because normally, like, man, clean eating is a whole lot of questions. But all right, no worries. We're going on to the next one. No questions on clean eating. What do y'all want to talk about next, though? That's it. You know what? I got it next. We're talking about that roller coaster next. That's what we're going to talk about. Getting off of that roller coaster. Getting off of the roller coaster. What roller coaster is that? It's the blood sugar roller coaster, the glucose roller coaster, whatever kind of roller coaster you want to call it. Flavored applesauce, no. Not a great idea. Not a great idea, Holly. The roller coaster. What do we say? Roller coasters are for amusement parks, not for your blood sugar. Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge today. That's what it says. Blood sugar. We played blood sugar Tetris earlier. Remember that? We're going to call this one the glucose roller coaster. I'm going to move it over. Still too far. Glucose roller coaster. Get off of it. Get off the roller coaster. We talked about getting off of that roller coaster earlier then. I'm going to draw some lines over here. Here it is. 70, 100, 140. And then I'm going to put the max up here. Check it out. Ideally, didn't we say we want our blood sugar? Where do we say we wanted our blood sugar ideally? Who remembers? Where do we want our blood sugar ideally? In a perfect world, where do we want our blood sugar? We wake up in the morning, where do we want it? Let's see what we got. Any guesses on where we got it? Where in the morning time, you wake up in the morning, in a perfect world, where would you like your blood sugar to be? In a perfect world. 130 and below? Wow. In a perfect world, Lisa? Wow. Okay. You want yours to 130 and below in the perfect world. In the perfect world. That's what I'm talking about. 80. Okay, 85. All right. Any other guesses? Any other guesses on any other suggestions on in a perfect world, where would we want our blood sugar? Well, okay, perfect world, 80 or less. Okay. All right. 90, someone says. In a perfect world, you want it between 70 and 100. In a perfect world, you wake up every day, you want your blood sugar to be somewhere between 70 and 100. In the U.S., that's what we use. I know in some countries, they use different metrics. But in the U.S., between 70 and 100. Those are the metrics that we use. And then that means that your blood sugar is trucking along just like this. It's between 70 and 100. It can go to like 80, 85, 90, 95, 75, 85, 100. You may eat some food. It may go up to like 130 and then come back down. Within a couple of hours, it'll come back down. That's a perfect world. Perfectly, that's how you want your body to respond. That's called being insulin sensitive, folks. This is what it means to be insulin. I'm going to put it up there. Insulin sensitive. Probably spelled sensitive wrong. But anyhow, insulin sensitive right here. There it is. You eat some food. You wake up, your blood sugar is between about 85, we'll say in a perfect world. That's the middle. And then you eat some food and it goes up to like 130. That's it. Comes back down, normal range. You're good to go. I put max up here because you don't want it to go above 140. Look, you don't want it to go above 140. That's called the max. So, but what happens in the morning? You said, Kelley, you don't want it to go below 140. Well, what happens, Kelley, when I wake up in the morning and my blood sugar is already 180 and I'm just waking up in the morning? Well, whoa, what does that mean, Kelley? Well, that means that we got some work to do. That means you're on the roller coaster. Okay. Now, let's see what happens in real life. The real roller coaster that people are on. And this is the one I'm trying to get you off of. I can get you off of it, but you got to want to do it. You got to want it yourself. I can show you the way how to get off of the roller coaster, but you got to want it yourself. You got to have to do the work. And I'm going to show you what happens in real life. This is what happens in real life. Then I'm going to tell you the work that you're going to have to do. I'm going to paint the picture for you. This is called the glucose roller coaster. If you've ever been to those amusement parks, like I said earlier, I grew up in Orlando, man. We had some of the baddest roller coasters that you could possibly imagine. You got Space Mountain. You go to Busch Gardens, man. You got the Sheikra. You got the Superman. You got all these different roller coasters. You go to Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. You go to Six Flags. You got all these roller coasters, man. But if you go to that amusement, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, I want you to stay as far away from the roller coaster as possible, because here's why. Let's just say you wake up in the morning, 8 a.m. Here's a perfect day. We're going to walk through a whole day. Watch this. This is the roller coaster. This is what's going on behind the scenes, and you don't even know it. Check this out. You wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you eat? Most of the time, you eat a Ho-Ho Twinkie, right? Ho-Ho Twinkie, ding dongs. You eat, is that 85? You eat the Ho-Ho Twinkie, you eat the ding dongs or whatever. You eat mom's pancakes. You eat a banana on an empty stomach. Okay? You drink that coffee with all the sugar in it, and your blood sugar goes sky high. First thing in the morning. And then here's the thing. You want to know why you're always tired, why you're always hungry? It's because you're on a roller coaster. It's because when it's going up, you're good. But when it's coming down, woo, when it's crashing, this is called a crash. This is called a spike. This is called a crash. The crash goes like this. It starts coming down. So all the insulin comes out when you get a spike like this in the morning. All the insulin comes out, and it has to bring this back down. Has to bring that number back down to the ideal range. So, okay, it brings it down just as quickly as it goes up, as quickly as it's going to come down, because a lot of insulin will come out to try to bring this thing down. Then check it out. It goes down, and then you get hungry again. Because when it's coming down, you're getting hungry, you're getting tired, you're getting that 10 a.m. It's like, oh, it's 10 a.m. and why am I yawning? Oh, you're at your cubicle at the office, like, oh, so tired. It's 10 a.m. Oh. 10 a.m. You go get to the Snicker bar out of the vending machine at 10 a.m. You had the donuts for breakfast. Then or you had something sweet, you had some cereal for breakfast or whatever it is, 10 a.m., you go to get yourself a Mountain Dew and a Snicker bar. And then it comes down quickly. And then you get tired again. And then lunchtime comes. And then you go out to the work. Then you go out with your coworkers. Don't you go out with your coworkers? And you guys go to somewhere really junky to get somewhere to eat. You go to like a buffet of all places. You go to a buffet. You go to Popeyes, like we talked about. You go get Chinese. You go get whatever. You go to Taco Bell. You go wherever. You guys go to wherever. And you eat that food. And you get so stuffed at lunch. Or you go get some pizza at lunch. They're dining in like, hey, we got a work meeting today. So what we're gonna do for lunch? Oh, we gotta work. We gotta have a working lunch. Okay, so you order some pizza for lunch. You eat that pizza for lunch. And then what happens at 3 p.m.? You're at the office. What happens at 3 p.m., folks? Who can tell me what happens at the office when you're at 3 p.m.? Shout out to you, K Indigo 70. You put up there. You get a crash. You get a crash. Yup. What happens, folks? Yeah, you get a crash. 3 p.m. every day. What happens? You get a what? You get a crash. You get tired. What else happens? You crash. What else happens? What else happens? You crash. You're at your cubicle. It's 3 p.m. You had a big lunch. And you're at your cubicle, it's 3 p.m. and you're like, oh my God, 2 more hours left of work. 2 more hours of answering emails. Oh my God, 2 more hours of talking to customers. Oh my God, nah. I worked in corporate America for 13 years. That's how I know all this stuff. You get hungry again. That's it. You get hungry again, and then what do? You go back. It's a couple of things you can do. You go get yourself a Mountain Dew out of the vending machine. You go to the vending machine or you go into the break room because your coworker, here's the thing, your coworker who loves to bring the donuts, she brought the donuts in the morning time. She loved to bring Shipley. She loves to bring, all the different types of donuts, all the flavors, the ones with the jelly in it and the powder. And she just gets so excited when she brings you these donuts. And in the morning time, you said, no, I'm good. I already ate. But when 3 p.m. hits, you go into the break room and you see that box of donuts. And you're like, whoo! You're like, yeah, now's my time. And you get that craving and you put that donut and you put it on the napkin and then you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. Ding! And you take it out and it's all nice and soft and you eat that donuts and you just go, oh. And then you wake up and then you do the rest of your day. 5 p.m., you're off. All right. 7 p.m., you get home, you beat the traffic, all that stuff. You get home, and then now it's dinner time. What are we eating for dinner, folks? What are we going to eat for dinner? Typically, it might be, we talked about spaghetti earlier. We talked about spaghetti a lot. It might be spaghetti we're eating for dinner. Heck, it might be pizza. Heck, it might be, I don't know. It might be some lasagna for dinner. I don't know. What's for dinner? Mashed potatoes, all right, cheeseburger and fries, that's it. That's what's for dinner. And as a result, what's going to happen to your blood sugar? It's going to go right back up again. And then check it out. It went up. Now it's after dinner. Now it's coming down again. Now it's 9:15. 9:15. Who can tell me what happens at 9:15 every night, folks? You're watching your Netflix show. You're watching Hulu. You're watching Amazon Prime. You're watching The Chi. You're watching your favorite show. You're watching Star Trek, whatever. What happens at 9:15? Sleepy but hungry. Snack time. That's it. Snack time. It's snack time. You go to You go get you some popcorn, you go get whatever. You go get some ice cream, big bucket of ice cream, and you eat that, and then your blood sugar is going to go up again. Okay, but now there's a problem. Now it's dinner time. Now it's bedtime, sorry. Now it's 10 p.m., but your blood sugar is still elevated. Your blood sugar is still elevated. It's at 10 p.m. Bedtime. You ate the ice cream. Now your blood sugar, now you're getting into bed and your blood sugar is well over 140. It's well over 140. It's like 240. Say it's like 240. 340. 240, 340, whatever. 250, whatever. Let's just say that's what your blood sugar is at dinner at the evening time. What do you do at that point? What happens then? When your blood sugar is high at bedtime? Who can tell me what happens? What do you do? Is a better question. What do you do at bedtime? Who can tell me? Okay, nobody's chiming in. Nobody's running to this issue. What do you do? We still got this. The day is still going, folks. The day is still going. Ooh, exercise. Oh, no, I don't think people are exercising at 10. No. Oh, let's see the answers. Let's see what we got. Exercise, somebody says sleep, can't sleep. I go to sleep, exercise, go to sleep. That's it. Those are great guesses, but here it is. Insulin. You ever heard of fast-acting insulin? You ever heard of that? It's what some people will use. Fast-acting insulin. Because it's fast-acting. Okay? So to cause your blood sugar to go down. But here's the thing. The day's still not over with yet, though, folks. The day's still not over with. We got 3 a.m. What happens at 3 a.m.? What's happening at 3 a.m., folks? Who can tell me? Yeah, you wake up. I take a long-lasting something at bedtime. Take a long-lasting at bedtime. A snack at 3 a.m. Ooh, blood sugar reset. Blood sugar drops. That's it. Wake up to use the bathroom. Hypo. That's it. Let's see what else. Yeah. It may have crashed. That's what somebody said. It may have crashed. Yeah, it may have crashed. That's probably it. You wake up in a flux, like you wake up and it's like 3 a.m. and you wake up like, ha! You wake up looking at the ceiling like you're looking around. You're looking up at the ceiling. And your spouse looks at you and say, why the hell did you wake up like that? Like, why you wake up like a crazy person? And you're just looking like all bug-eyed, looking at the ceiling like, I don't know why I'm waking up looking all crazy, all bug-eyed. I don't know. Well, here's what happened. You took that fast-acting insulin. A lot of times, here's what happens. Not all the time, but a lot of times. You take that fast-acting insulin, and your blood sugar is going to drop. It's going to plummet. Yeah, that's it. It's going to plummet at night at 3 a.m. That's why you wake up at 3 a.m. looking all bug-eyed and all kinds of stuff like that. Why? It's because your body is like, you need to wake up. We need to have, this is what your body says. This is why you wake up. This is why your body kicks in adrenaline and says, wake up. Here's what happens. Check this out. This right here is how much blood sugar you're supposed to have in your body. This is about this is 1 teaspoon. When your blood sugar is at 100, when your blood sugar is right here at 100, that's how many teaspoons of sugar you got going through there. But that's 1 teaspoon. That's how much blood sugar you want to see throughout. That's what your body, it doesn't want to see any more than that. If it does, insulin comes out to try to bring it down. If it gets too low, glucagon comes out and it tries to bring it up. So, but when it starts getting low, now let's just say if it's at a 50. Now, if your blood sugar is at a 50, now you've got half of the blood sugar that you're supposed to have. About half of the blood sugar you're supposed to have is gone. Now you got a half a teaspoon going through there. And the body's in panic mode. The body's like, oh my gosh, right? We got to go through a whole bunch of processes to try to bring this blood sugar back up. Just like we got to get this engine running again because the engine is not kicking. So that's why you're waking up at 3 a.m. because your body's like, you need to get up and you need to get up now. We need to shoot this adrenaline in you and we need to get some blood sugar in you fast, or else you ain't gonna be around for much longer. Because when it gets to zero, when that number gets to zero, that's it. That's the end of the stop. The roller coaster is over. When there's no more blood sugar flowing through your veins, when it gets to zero, that's the end of the ride. And you can't go back on it. You can't go back on the ride. You can't be like, yo, can I ride again? No, the ride's over. You got it. It's it. The ride's over. So that's why, folks, blood sugar is so important. This is why it's so important to get yourself off of this roller coaster. But human beings are so glutton for punishment, and this is what we do. We're so glutton for punishment that all of that stuff that I just named out, it doesn't even really matter to us. We as human beings are so glutton for pain and punishment. I told you, the test of a human being is to see how much pain you can handle. That's how we're built, to see how much pain we can handle, to see how long we can go in handling this pain before we change. Here's the mindset of human beings, me included. When I was this guy, I wanted to see how long I could go before I changed, before the pain got so bad that it caused me to change. How bad did the pain get? Watch, right over here. How bad did the pain get before I changed, before I decided to change? How bad was it going to get? How bad was the pain going to get before I decided to change? How many times did I want to ride on that roller coaster? When did I decide to get off of that roller coaster? And I said, you know what? I'm not riding this roller coaster anymore. So that's the thing about human beings. We got to go through it. We got to see how much pain we can get to before we actually get off of the roller coaster. Because other than that, we just going to keep on riding and keep on riding and keep on taking the pills, keep on trying to take the medication, keep on trying to cover up the symptoms. Because when you're taking the meds, you're just covering up the symptoms. You're not actually getting down to the root cause of the insulin resistance. And the root cause of the insulin resistance is because you were always on a dang on roller coaster and you never decided to get off. How do you get off? You get off by stress management, managing your stress, managing your activity, eating, sleeping, clean eating, sleeping, starting your day with a savory breakfast. We're so glutton for punishment, folks, that we will literally wake up the next day and we'll do the whole thing over again just to see how much pain we can be in. How much pain can I be in today? I don't know, but let's find out. I don't know how much pain I can be in today, but I'm a damn sure find out. I want to know how much pain I can take before it actually causes me to change. Let's test it. Is the day that I'm in so much in enough pain to cause me to take action? Like, nah, today's not that day. I'm not in enough pain yet. Today's not that day. I'm gonna keep on riding the roller coaster because it's fun. Wee, wee. Six Flags, you know what I mean? Universal Studios, Busch Gardens, Hershey Park, all of these places with all these roller coasters, man. Stop going and getting tickets to that dang on. Stop going to that amusement park. Roller coasters are for amusement parks, not your blood sugar. So if this is making sense to y'all folks, put a health yes in the chat, okay? Put a health yes in the chat. If it's today the day that you say, I'm going to get off of that roller coaster. Or it's today the day you say, you know what? Nah, Kelley. Nah, Kelley. Thank you for the knowledge, bro. Thank you. But I'm not taking any action. You're just entertaining me right now, Kelley. It's great entertainment. Thank you for this entertainment. Because like I told you before, knowledge without action is just straight up entertainment. That's all it is. It's just straight up entertainment. You got a whole bunch of book knowledge. You got a whole bunch of knowledge. Kelley told me a bunch of stuff. I learned a bunch of stuff, man. Oh, I learned about this. I learned about roller coasters. I learned about clean eating. I learned about hemoglobin A1C. I learned about the lifestyle medicine formula. I learned about a whole bunch of stuff, Kelley. But when it comes to action, I'm going to see how much pain I can stay in first before I start doing what you're talking about. Is that what it comes down to, folks? You want to see how much pain you can be in before you take action? What kind of silliness is that? That's the question. That is the question. That's the question I had to ask myself. How much pain could I be in before I change? I got in a lot of pain. And the only reason I changed, folks, and I'm going to get to your questions. The only reason I changed, folks, the only reason I got in enough pain is because my mother had passed away months prior from the exact same condition that I just got diagnosed when I showed you that picture. When I showed you that picture. Right? I was in enough pain. I'm on a roller coaster because, yes, but can you recap? Well, the recap is this. Start your day off with a savory breakfast, or else you'll be on a glucose roller coaster all day long. What's the savory breakfast? Like we talked about in clean eating. Something like chicken and broccoli and an avocado, right? Or tofu scramble. A tofu scramble with a bell peppers with nuts and seeds, or an avocado, something like that, right? That's called a savory breakfast. Right? A side of vegetables. So eat basically for lunch. Eat for breakfast what you would normally eat for lunch. You'd eat for lunch. Like a lot of people, here's the thing. I had one person join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is a funny story. I had one person join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. And they hit me up inside to say they didn't want to do the challenge anymore. They didn't want to do the challenge. They didn't want to do the challenge. They didn't want to accept the challenge. Even though they accepted the challenge, they didn't want to accept the challenge when they saw the menu. Because they said that there was no breakfast food on the menu. They said that there was no breakfast food on the menu. And I'm like, listen, it's not that's the point. We getting rid of the breakfast food. We eating a savory breakfast. We getting rid of the pancakes and the all of that stuff, and the cereals and all of that, and the granolas and all of that. We got rid of all of that. They did not like it. They were like, no, I want my breakfast food, Kelley. All right. Some people say they can hear me talking, but they can't. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing. Somebody said they can't hear me. Hit me if you can hear me. Put it in the chat. I guess nobody can hear me. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. Okay, cool. I don't know, Melly. This might be your side. I don't know. I don't know, Melly. Yes. And an adult, we should be eating like a kid. Yes, as an adult, we should be eating. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. That's it. Let's not wait, folks, until we get into enough pain. How can I help you? And you're like, how can I help you? How can I help you? If everybody's like, help me, Kelley, I always say, help me. All right, but I say, but first you got to help yourself. How can I take the challenge? And my diabetes has caused me a lot of issues. Here's how you accept the challenge right here. Right here. Click right here. Click this link in my bio. And then, or click right here. And then click on my picture again. I'm going to walk you through it real quick. Click right here. See that picture? And then click on my picture again. Here's how you accept the challenge. Click on my picture again. It goes right here. Look, here's the link. The same thing over here as well, folks. You click on the link in my bio. You click the link in my description. It's right. That's the very first link. It's going to come to something that looks like this. Watch. Here it is. You click that link. And then boom, there it is. It's a whole link tree. It's a whole bunch of links. It's like Disney World for a diabetic. I told you I grew up in Disney. I told you I grew up in Orlando, folks. That's where it is. That's where all the goodies are. This is like Disney World for diabetics. If you're suffering from high blood sugar, and if you've been on this roller coaster for many years, and you say today is the day I'm ready to get off of that roller coaster, or else you can stay on the roller. Some people, like I said, some people love the pain. They love it. They like, Kelley, you're talking about lifestyle change, bro. Like, no, not gonna happen, bro. Because I love the pain. Now, people won't say that they love the pain. Nobody will say that they love the pain, but their actions will prove they absolutely love the pain, because they won't move. They'll just sit up there and hear me talk, and then we're not taking any action, and it'll cause a disaster later on. We were trying to avoid the disaster, folks, of that blood sugar roller coaster crash. What you can expect 14 days of, we're going to go through a boot camp. It's a streamlined system. You follow the system, you get the results. Just like that lady was doing. She followed the system, and she's going to get the results. Just like everybody else who comes on here and tells their story about their results. Who's on the challenge? Anybody in the challenge right now? Anybody in the challenge? Let us know what day are you on if you join the challenge right now. We want to know what day you're on. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Everything's free on the page. The quiz is free. The masterclass is free. The PDF is free. I'm telling you, it's like Disney World for a diabetic. But the challenge is the only thing that is not free. The reason why is because it's real people getting real results who are really taking their health really, really seriously. That is why it's $99 to join the challenge. But if you are, while I'm live, if you use that discount code FREEDOM, that's it, FREEDOM. That is today's discount code. You use that discount code FREEDOM, you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for $79. $79, you're doing the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is your chance to get off the roller coaster. It's choice time. Either you can stay on the roller coaster, which is perfectly fine. I'm not judging nobody. Like, yo, bro, if that's working for you, fantastic. If it's working for you, being on that roller coaster, great. I'm gonna cheer you on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna cheer you on. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna get in your way. But if you gotten to the point where you say, yeah, this is my stop, Kelley. We're not going on that roller coaster again. Use that discount code FREEDOM. That's it. Join the challenge for $79. Everything's mapped out for you. All you got to do is the work. That's it. Show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. I can hear you. Shout out to you, D. Show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. Day 11. But I'm doing it for 6 more weeks rather than the 14 days. Yeah, tell us what happened. Tell us what happened on your first 14 days, Rosie. What happened on your first 14 days of the challenge? Inquiring minds would like to know. How was your challenge? All right, me, 2 days. You on day 2. Judy's on day 2. Woo! Shout out to you on day 2. I'm older. I've gotten the older I've gotten, the more I enjoy eating food. Said I know. Sad I know. Hey, it's choice time. If that works for you, fantastic. I'm not saying that that's sad or not, but if that's worked for you, but I will tell you this though. I will tell you this. Neglect is quiet, but its consequences are loud. Thank you. Great shirt. Thank you. Okay. Really day 7, but I messed up on day 5 and 6, so I started over. It's a challenge, right? If you fall off the wagon, get back on. If you fall off, get back on. It's because it's a challenge. It's going to challenge you. Your old stuff is going to be calling your name, like, oh, the craving is going to be calling your name. But we streamlined it. That's why. Here's the thing. Here's what I always tell people. A lot of people say they mess up. Here's what I tell people. If you fall off, get back on the very next meal. But check this out as well. Another way that you can look at it, it's only 14 days. That's why it's just 14 days. That's why it's not 14 weeks. It's not none. It's how can we maximize this in 14 days? All right? Because in 14 days, all of your favorite food is still going to be there. All the stuff that you've been missing, all the stuff that you've been craving, It's still going to be there. The Skittles are still going to be there. You think the Skittles are going in 14 days? Do you think Skittles is going anywhere? In 14 days, do you think Ho-Ho Twinkies and Ding Dongs and Cheetos and Takis and all of the other stuff, all the Mountain Dews and Cherry Cokes, do you think that that's going anywhere? It ain't going anywhere. So a little bit of pain now beats a lot of regret later. A little bit of pain now beats a lot of regret later. And if you chose to stay on that roller coaster, I guarantee later on in life, you are going to have a whole lot of regret. If you decide to say, you know what, it was 14 days that I was going to change my blood sugar to get off of that roller coaster, and I decided not to do it because I did not want to go through a little bit of pain for 14 days. And all the stuff that I said that I wanted, I decided to not do it because I didn't want to get outside of my comfort zone for 14 days. You're going to look back and like, I'm telling you, don't do that. Don't be that person. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to anybody. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to your kids. Don't do it to your family. Don't do that to anybody, because that's rude to do that. I think that's personal. I think that's rude. Anyhow, yeah, a little bit of pain now beats a lot of regret later. That's all I'll say. Yes, I have a Pepsi every day. Yeah, exactly. You got a Pepsi every day. If this is your choice to have a Pepsi every day and stay on the roller coaster, that is your choice. Fantastic. Like I told you before, what am I going to do? I'm going to cheer you on because it's choice time. It is your choice to do that. You just got to figure out how much pain am I in. Is the Pepsi worth the more pain? Like I said, human beings are built different. Human beings are built way different than any other species. We're built way different. We're built way different than lions and tigers and monkeys and bears and dogs and cats and all that stuff. Human beings are the only, here's the thing, all life forms strive to its max potential. All life forms. Trees, everybody strives to its max potential, except for one life form. And it's called human beings. Why? It's because we have the dignity of choice. We have the choice to choose whatever the hell it is that we want to eat. If it's Pepsi, great. If it's a Pepsi a day, 2 Pepsis a day, freaking great. All right? It's your choice. Still doing the plate method. There you go. Fantastic. Yes, in the trash if it's in my house. Okay? Somebody said it's in the trash if it's in their house. I'm late to the party, but I've been diabetic for 17 years. What am I missing about the 14-day challenge? Here's what you're missing. The 14-day challenge is for this. If you're late, 14-day challenge is for this. It's for people who have gotten to the point where they're ready to get off of the roller coaster. They're ready to get off of that glucose roller coaster. The high blood sugar, the low blood sugar, the unstable blood sugar. It's just all unstable. It's been unstable for, how'd you say, 17 years? It's been unstable. You've been in so much pain for 17 years, or maybe you haven't. I don't know. A lot of people haven't been. I don't care how long they've been. They still may not be in enough pain to take action. But the 14-day challenge is for people who have gotten into enough pain that they're ready to take action against high blood sugar. They're ready to put up their dukes against high blood sugar, and they said enough's enough, and they've accepted the challenge. It's 14 days. It's 42 meals, all designed by me. Who am I? I'm this guy. I'm the guy who was a diabetic, had heart disease, and was obese. I'm this guy. This is the guy I'm going to show you in this guy over here. I'm this guy. That's who I am. Now, I'm not that guy anymore. That's the guy who had diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, all at the very same. 2 weeks after I took this picture, I got diagnosed. Look at that, before and after. No more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. Are you going to get rid of diabetes in 2 weeks? No. 14 days? No. You're going to do that. Or you're going to get rid of heart disease and all that stuff in 2 weeks and all that stuff? No. You ain't going to do that. It's A1Cs for 3 months. But in 2 weeks, we can take your blood sugar, the one that's on the roller coaster, the one that's ups and downs and the swings and all that stuff, and we can take it and we can balance it out just like this in 14 days. Sometimes even less than 14 days, depending on how dedicated you are to the process. At 14 days, that's it. You go hard for 14 days, a little bit of pain now, a little bit of pain right now. On the other side of that is going to be great reward. That's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is about. We are streamlining your diet for 14 days. Eat this. We're telling you what to eat every single meal. You eat this at this time, and then you eat this the next day, and then you eat this, and you eat this, and then you eat this, and then you check back at 14 days, and then your blood sugar is not going to look the same. That's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is about. It's for people who want to get off of that roller coaster. But some people would prefer to stay on the roller coaster. I don't care how long it's been, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. They don't care how long it's been. They will prefer to stay on that roller coaster. They will prefer it. And I don't get it. Now, they're not going to say that they prefer it. They ain't going to say that out of their mouth. Their actions are going to say that. Be like, hey, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's say, well, how you doing in your stress management? How you doing in your activities? How you doing in your eating, your sleeping? How you doing in your managing your alcohol and all that stuff? Yeah, no more Chuck E. Charms. Here's the thing. I read a book one time. I read a book last year. The name of this book was called Change or Die. It's literally the name of the book. The book came out like 20 years ago. It's a thick book too. But I'm going to save you a bunch of reading time. You can read the book, great. But I'm going to save you a bunch of time. And I'm going to give you the premise of the book. The premise of the book is called Change or Die. It says 9 in 10 people would rather die than change. 9 in 10, 9 out of 10, 90% of the people would rather lose their life than to change. Now, people aren't going to say that. They're not going to say that out of their mouth, but their actions will say that that's what they did do. And they proved it in the book. In the book, they proved this. They did study after study after study, and they said that these people, whatever industry were they in, these people would not change. Even if it came to losing their business, even if it came going back to prison, even if it came going back to having more heart attacks, these people would not change. And as a result, and in the study, after they concluded it, it said they did all the tallies and analysis, and it was 9 in 10 people would rather die than change. They're not going to say that, but here's the thing. What you do speaks so loudly that people cannot hear what you're saying. What you do speaks so loudly that people can't hear what the hell you are saying. You hear what I'm saying? It's a sad world we live in, folks. It's a sad world we live in. Yeah. People would rather stay on that roller coaster. Now, if you want to get off of this roller coaster, join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Click the link in my bio. Here it is. Here it is. Because we're going to get out of here in like about 10 minutes. The live 15 minutes. We're getting ready to get out of here. The live discount code is this. The live discount code is freedom. But there's a lot of people that say, Kelley, I'm still like, I'm not in enough pain to take serious action yet. What kind of little actions can I take? Just take some little actions in. You can take little actions, right? Little actions, they'll pile up. If you say, Kelley, I'm in a lot of pain, man, but I'm not in the pain yet where I wanted to take massive action. I'm not there yet. I would rather take a little bit of pain. I would rather take a little baby step. Okay, great. Here's some baby steps right here. Click right up here. Click on my picture again. Here are the baby steps. Here are the baby steps. Same thing over here on my other socials over here. If you click that link in my description, it's going to take you to this page right here. It's going to take you to this page. This is Disney World, folks. Disney World for folks who are suffering from insulin resistance. Disney World. The quiz, absolutely free. The masterclass, absolutely free. Quiz, masterclass, absolutely free. The PDF, absolutely free. All you got to do is pay attention. In the masterclass, what I break down, the lifestyle medicine formula. What the work, what is the, people are like, well, what's the work? I break down the work for you in that masterclass. It's 45 minutes. We talk about having a peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. What are the 4 areas that you got to get right? The 4 areas that you got to get right if you ever plan on getting rid of diabetes, if you ever plan getting off of the roller coaster, if you've ever had plans of like reversing the PCOS, if you ever had plans of reversing the erectile dysfunction, you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to go through a little bit of pain. Because everything that you want and don't have is literally on the other side of hard. Everything that you want and don't have is outside of your comfort zone. That's where it is. What do you do after the 14 days is complete? Then you go beyond the challenge. You hang out with me beyond the challenge. That's what it's called, beyond the challenge. You hang out with me there. That's where you hang out. After the 14 days, after we get you out of boot camp, then we're going to go beyond the challenge. We're going to go hard for 10 more weeks after that. 12 weeks altogether. 3 months. Why 3 months? Because look, that's how long it takes for your red blood cells to turn over. That's how long it takes for your red. That's why you get an A1C check every 3 months, because you get new red blood cells every 3 months. All the old ones are done, and then the new ones come in. So then you're going to go get a new A1C, and that new A1C is, when they check your A1C now that's all the new stuff. All the old stuff, we flush that out. Basically, it takes 3 months altogether, like to flush out all the old stuff. That's your A1, that's an A1C. But your immediate blood sugar, your day-to-day blood sugar, that's the roller coaster we talked about. That's what we're going to get you off of. When we get you off the roller coaster, eventually your A1C starts to flatten out. Your A1C starts to get lower. So it's called Beyond the Challenge. It's 10 weeks. Can you reverse type 2 diabetes? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Most people can. You go to the doctor and get what's called the C-peptide test. You go get a C-peptide test, and it will tell you based on what that number is. You want that number to be here. Check it out. Check it out. Go get a C-peptide test, and you want your number to be here. I'm gonna erase the roller coaster. It's a good question. It's a good question. The question is, can diabetes be reversed? Can type 2 diabetes be reversed? And here's the answer to that question. Yes, but it depends. Yes, but it depends. I'm going to tell you why. Usually when I give this formula, what if you absolutely didn't like a food in the plan? Can you exchange it with any other plan? What if you absolutely did not like the food in the plan? Can you exchange it with another in the plan? There's a lot of variety. There's a lot of variety in the plan. It's not about what the food that you like. It's a lot of variety. I know you said that you're picky. It's a lot of variety in the challenge. But the thing is, it's 14 days. It's 14 days to get outside of your comfort zone. That's it. The food that you love and miss and that you enjoy and all that stuff, it's still going to be there. It's still going to be there. That's what I'm doing. And here's what I'm going to tell you that. People that say, is diabetes reversible? And yes, it is. But here's the thing. Most people do not want to hear that, right? Most people don't want to hear it, because here's what they're going to go do. They're going to go get a C-peptide test. C-peptide. Most people will not go get this test. It's called the C-peptide test. And you can go get this from your doctor. And the reason that most people aren't going to get it is because it's going to either reveal you or it's going to expose you. It's going to either reveal you or it's going to expose you. Check. What do I mean by that? If your C-peptide test, when you go to the doctor, if it comes back between a 0.5 and then a 2.0, you know what that means? That means that you are producing enough insulin. You are producing enough insulin. And if you are producing enough insulin, you can reverse diabetes. It's a powerful test. It's a powerful test. And it's the one most people won't take. Why? Because like I said, either it's going to reveal you or it's going to expose you. What is it going to reveal? It's going to reveal that you're producing enough insulin. So the only thing that's holding you back is there's only one thing that's holding you back. Here's what it is. Here's what's holding you back. Check this out. When your number comes back within range, it can even be higher than 2. If it comes back higher than 2, that means you're producing way too much insulin. That means you got enough to go around for a lot of people. That means you got enough to go around if it's higher than 2. It's a success formula. A lot of people don't hate, they hate this part of the segment when I teach this. People hit me up like, hated that part of the segment, Kelley. I'll get DMs all the time. Kelley, I hated that part of the segment. Why? It's because you exposed me. It's MA, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but it is what it is. I'm gonna be super direct with you. Minus E. If your number comes back in range, you can't get rid of that type 2 diabetes. And it's MA plus D minus E. Check this out. People hate this formula. It's massive action. That's what the MA stands for. Massive action. Plus the D, right? Check this out. Plus determination. That's the MA, right? Massive action. Massive action. The D, determination. You go to the doctor and your C-peptide test comes back. It's a special test you got to ask the doctor for. The doctor's just not going to give you a C-peptide test. It's a special test that you got to ask for. And if it comes back within range, it's the only thing, the way that you're going to be successful is this. It's massive action plus determination minus the E. Your excuses. Yeah, that's it. This test is not just like a normal test. This test you got it's a special request. Special request to give me a C-peptide. If it comes back within range or higher than 2, if it comes back higher than a 0.5, let's simplify it. If it comes back higher than a 0.5, the only thing that's holding you back from reversing diabetes is this. And that is your excuses. You got to take some massive action. You got to have a certain amount of determination. Even when it gets hard, even when the 2 weeks, you're in the 2-week challenge, and you're like, I don't like the food in the 2-week challenge. It's not about the food in the 2-week challenge. It's about, you got to do what you got to do to get your body back right. It's not about comfort right now. It's about getting outside of your comfort zone for 2 weeks. You hang out, that's why it's called the challenge. You hang out with me for 2 weeks, we're going to get you outside of that comfort zone. You can go to the doctor, you can get a C-peptide test, and if they come back within range, and you come back and you check back a year or 2 later and you still have diabetes, you still have insulin resistance, you still have type 2 diabetes a year later, after the doctor has already told you that your numbers are good, the only thing that's holding you back is that. That is why, and that, folks, is why most people will not go get it. They were like, I am refusing to take that test. Did you take your C-peptide test? Hell no. Because if the numbers come back good, I was relying on my excuses. I was holding on to them. But here's the thing about excuses. Excuses are like exit signs on your path to success. Just keep going. Just keep driving. There's excuses up there, exit signs. Exit signs, excuses. How to get to your destination is you just keep on driving. You just bypass those exits. And you bypass those exits, I'm telling you, you're gonna make it to the road, you're gonna make it to success. You're not going to have diabetes anymore. You're not going to have type 2 diabetes anymore. You're not going to have insulin resistance. You're not going to have PCOS. You're not going to have pre-diabetes anymore. If you just ignore those damn excuse exit signs and just keep on freaking driving. Skirt, you're like, skirt, you're on the highway, 95. When I was in the Navy, right, I had a Navy buddy of mine. We were both from Florida. We were stationed in Virginia at the time. And Highway 90, Interstate 95, it's 90, that's the name of it, I-95. Here used to be our slogan. We were young. We were like 22 years old. We were young, 21 years old. We were young and dumb. Here's what our philosophy was. When we're on 95, we do 95. If you're on 95, you do 95. We were going so fast that we didn't have time to look at no damn X's. We just kept on going. No excuses, keep on going. That's it, folks. Massive action plus determination minus your excuses. It will get you to where you need to go. Now, let me see if I missed any questions, because we're getting ready to get up out of here. You know, if you're ready to get off of that, if you're ready to put the excuses to the side, today's your day. You want to use that discount code FREEDOM. Let me see if I got any questions. No more Chuck E. Cheese. We're going to get up out of here. Can you reverse diabetes? That was it. What if y'all answered that one? What do you do after the challenge? Yeah, beyond the challenge. Yes, you can. Is there a test on your blood to check your A1C? Yeah, it's called the A1C. Is there a test on your blood to check your A1C? Yeah, it's called the hemoglobin A1C. Absolutely. Is that C-peptide test at A1? What do you mean at A1? And A1. It's called the C-peptide test. We're not talking about the A1C test. We're talking about the C-peptide test. I never knew anything about it. I just got checked about it 3 months ago. Most people, they don't know about it. Even if they know about it, they're like, what does that number actually mean? A C-peptide test? It means that I can get rid of diabetes? No, I'm not taking that test. Crazy how people think, right? It freaking blows my mind. I mean, the C-peptide test, A1C is the same. No, they're not the same. No, they're not. Doctors don't want to give you the test. You go and you go request it. Did you say it is a range that you can't reverse it? If it's below 0.5, if it's the only time that it's not reversible, if it's below 0.5, that means that you're not producing enough. Yeah, no, the A1C and C-peptide are not the same. We're getting ready to get up out of here, folks. But like I said, I'm 7:15, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm willing to hang out with you for the next 2 weeks. Let's do it, Melly. Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use that discount code RESET. I'm sorry, not reset. Freedom. Freedom is it. Freedom is it. Let me show you where to do that. We're going to get up out of here. We're going. And the discount code is going with it. It's $99. After this, it's $99 to join the challenge instead of $79, right? Instead of $79, we're at $99. But if you use that discount code, I'm telling you, $79. Here's how you get to it. Click right up here. Click on my picture again. Then you're going to come to this. Click that link right there. That link's in my bio. So 3 clicks. So 1, a 2, and then that third one. 1, 2. For my other socials, it's the same thing. Check it out right here. Oh, they say I got to do a little puzzle. Let me do this puzzle. They always do me that puzzle, same time every day. Here it is. The quiz, the masterclass, all free stuff. The quiz and the masterclass, all free stuff. All right? The challenge right here. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. 14 days, 42 meals, all designed by me. It is for people who will want to get off the roller coaster. If you don't want to get off the roller coaster, you're right. This is not the challenge for you. If you just say, you know what, Kelley, I'm filled with excuses, you're right. This is not going to be the challenge for you. People are like, is this for everybody? No, it's not. I'm super clear who it's for. It's for people who are on the roller coaster and they're tired of the roller coaster and they want to get off no matter what. That's who the challenge is for. That's it. It's not for people who say, I'm ready, but then when it comes to the work, they're like, nah, I didn't want to really do the work, Kelley. I didn't want to get outside of my comfort zone for 14 days. So it's not for them. It's for only the strong, I guess you could say. It's $99 to join that challenge. All right, which somebody just did. Shout out to them. It's $99 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. All right, check it out, $99. But use that discount code FREEDOM. I'm going to leave it open for another hour. I'm going to leave that code open for another hour. FREEDOM. That's it. You're joining the challenge for $79. The reason I call it FREEDOM is because we're going to unlock your diabetes freedom. Watch this. Like I name all my stuff specifically, folks. Look. I name all my stuff specifically. You see that? How to unlock your diabetes freedom. That's why the discount code today is freedom. So that's how I designed all this stuff, because that's what you're going to be free from. You're going to be free from insulin holding you hostage, from high blood sugar. You're going to be free from that. Use that discount code. You're in the challenge, folks. But that's it. So let me leave y'all with this, folks. Yeah, shout out to you, Lisa. That was you that joined. I'm so ready. You're the man to follow. Now, you're the man to follow, Lisa. You're the man to follow. So allow us to check your email. It came to your email. There's a lot of variety on the challenge. A lot of variety, right? But we're streamlining it. So congratulations. We got you. Welcome to the challenge. You're going to do well. Also, register. Join the, the Reset Squad. Join the Reset Squad here on TikTok. We come on every Saturday, 12 noon Central Standard Time, where we talk about, I answer all your questions up close and personal. But until then, folks, or until tomorrow, we'll be back tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. But until then, here's what I want to meet you. Here's what I want to leave y'all with, folks. Yeah, follow me on all my other socials as well. YT, FB, YouTube, Facebook. You know how it is. Follow me there as well. If we ever have any problems over here. Sometimes we have problems over here. But follow me over there. We're there, right? Look at that. We got folks over there. Shout out to y'all. Right, shout out to y'all. But anyhow, here's what I want to leave y'all with. Here's what I want to leave y'all with, folks. I talk about you can get off the roller coaster if you want or whatever. But here it is. Here's what I'm going to leave y'all with. When we die, when we're born, we look like our parents. When we're born, we look like our parents. That's what we look like. Like, who do you look like? You look like your mom or your dad? You look like your grandparents? So when we're born, we look like our parents. But when we die, we look like our choices.